Good morning, everybody. On this Thursday, here we are. What?
Oh, nothing. I was just foiled by New York Times games connections, and now it's ruined my day.
Okay, I have one mistake left, and then it's over. And I have three.
Okay.
I'm so upset.
I thought it was going to be something interesting, but listen, it's
you
interesting
kidding
in
me?
your world.
Oh, don't,
Dude, I
you're
have
in
a
this world too.
streak
You
right now
nerd.
with
You're
connections.
Trying to entertain St. Louis right now, okay?
Oh man, this is where we're at in our lives, though.
Dude, the New York Times gaming app is the one thing that brings me joy every day. And I am on a 4 streak right now on connections. And honestly, that's the most psychological game of all time.
Oh, great.
Okay.
Lucky. This is where we're at, though, at our age, man. What were you and I talking about in the kitchen?
Okay, well, no, we were talking about, how we're getting older. And, I don't know, I came across some YouTube video yesterday. It was like the top songs from 1993. Uh-huh. And Runaway Train was like the second biggest song of 93, or second best song.
Yeah.
And seeing them at the racetrack on Sunday, wow, that was 32 years ago. And I remember being in my mom's car, so listening to her music. So in 1993, subtract 32.
Yeah.
And we're talking the early 60s. So our music now is the early 60s for our kids.
Yeah. It's insane.
Do you get what I'm saying?
You shut your whorish mouth.
It's insane, dude. So I remember when I was working for like a janitorial service, right? And I'm cleaning schools and all that, and the people controlled the radio that were around me, and they were older. They were, dare I say, 40s, 50s.
Oh
right?
no!
And what were they listening to? They were listening
Doo-wop.
to oldies from the 50s and 60s.
Right.
And that is our soul asylum.
That's our soul asylum.
You know what I mean?
Wow.
No,
Soul
and
asylum
when,
is
and when my mom would say, when you get your own car, you get to play what you want.
Right.
And true story, we're in the car yesterday, and we're driving, and I put on my own music, and it was 311's Hydroponic came on. And I look over, and I see her cringe.
Yeah.
And I go, well.
Yeah, because
Yeah.
because you just played 1965 music.
Yeah.
To us, to her.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like what was coming out and was popular in 65, and the janitor lady, I still remember, she would start dancing and things, while we're waxing floors. And I was like, man, this is old stuff.
Yeah, so if I'm putting on Nirvana's In Bloom and my kids are in the car and they'll roll their eyes. It's the early 60s for them.
Exactly.
But then these kids
I don't like
today,
it.
30 years from now, they will be listening to Kendrick Lamar and Sabrina Carpenter and having these same feels.
Of course. Yeah,
and
but
that's
we're
just
there.
how it is. I know, we're there.
But we're there, and it's fine.
Well, and the day will come when you're in the villages.
I'm never moving to the villages.
You're
Soul Asylum
old
is
and
playing the villages.
Worse than that, it'll be like,
Oh, I remember this old ditty. This is, I met your mom at the club, to the window, to the wall, to the sweat up out my mouth.
I danced with your father for the first time
it's
to
going to be, a bunch of old people.
get a bucket and a mop. That's a wet ass.
Yeah, I DM'd your granny and she was DTF. Next thing you know, there's your
I know,
dad.
it's going to be weird.
Grandpa was hitting it from the back.
It's going to be weird.
My goodness, where do we go?
Yes.
We're at the villages. This is just
We're
what
at
it
the
is.
villages.
This is the future.
Filthy.
We're playing.
Grandpa's pullout game was weak.
That's why you're
We're
here.
playing pickleball. I don't know what's going on
Grandpa,
there.
no one says pull-out game anymore.
I know. That's too
It's going to be something else.
much.
It's going to be something else. And
It's just
20,
it's just
40
odd
something.
to me that music has gotten so graphically specific. I don't mind it. I'm just saying, like, there is going to be a moment in time when that happens, and that's wild to me. That there's going to be people like, turn on my music. God damn it. I'm tired of listening to it.
What does macaroni in a
Why does-
pot
yeah.
mean?
Yeah, it's going to
why does Grandpa sound like that?
I don't know. He's had a rough life.
He's seen a lot.
Grandpa's
seen a
face
lot.
tattoos are going to be drooping. You know what I mean? Like when we're all wrinkled up and.
He went through that rough 2020s.
Everybody was drug dealing just to get high, stack my money.
Can't wait.
Listen, maybe we're not going to make it.
What?
Maybe we're not going to make
Yeah,
it. I don't know.
All right, let's go with this.
No, I tried this, by the way. So here's a fun health test to try.
Okay.
Okay? Fun if you pass it. If you fail, not great. So the new study found that the simple fitness test can predict how likely you are to die in the next 10 years.
Okay.
Oh, is this the thing that we tried the other day and you fell on your face?
No, this is different.
Oh, cool.
That
So
wasn't
jumping from your knees?
That wasn't a death predictor. That was jumping from your knees, and
Yeah.
that's rough for any age.
What? No, I thought it was. I thought that was a health predictor of some sort.
Okay, this one over 4,000 people aged 46 to 75 tried it,
This is just a flat out. If you can't do this, you're gonna die.
and the ones who could do it easily were 6 times less likely to die of a heart attack or have some kind of lung issue.
Is this the thing standing
the
up
next-
from crisscross applesauce?
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
It's called the sit to stand test
I can do it.
or the cross leg get up test.
Yes.
Here's my
I've
problem.
been doing this for years.
My knee
Oh.
is so messed up. I can't bend my knees like that. I can hardly sit like that.
All you have to do is sit down on the floor and stand back up, but you can't
No,
use your
learn to-
arms, your knees, or grab anything for support. Lower yourself down until you're sitting cross-legged or Indian style for the layman,
Crisscross applesauce.
and then stand back up.
Learn just did it. Like she just went.
Stand back up.
Wow. See, that's
Now, if you could
you
easily
should have
do
gone
it,
last.
if you could easily do it, you're in decent health, most likely. Ideally, you should be able to do it without putting your hand or knee down or grabbing onto anything. But if you have to, it doesn't necessarily mean you failed.
Fantastic.
10 more years.
They scored each test by starting at 10 and subtracting 1 point every time support was needed. Like if you put your hand down once to sit and again to stand, that's an 8 out of 10. They also subtracted half a point every time a person lost their balance and wobbled.
You said to sit?
So if
I wobbled when I got up.
if I reach out and I ask for help and someone pulls me up, that's only 1 point of support,
That's right.
right? I only lose 1 point.
Yeah.
No.
If I
what
refuse
you
to,
said.
if I refuse to even try, -1.
Those who scored 4 or lower were most likely to die in the next 10 years.
Oh, no. Okay.
Jeepers.
It took you a long time to get down there, man.
I can't get down.
If
do you
you're
mean?
8
Sit
or
down.
higher, you're fine.
But I can't. You can't. I mean,
Lead with your ass.
The way. Yeah, but like you didn't plop. You gently went down. If I went down, there's like a foot or two of a gap where I just.
What the heck?
That's fine as long
Am
as
I-
you
am I
So you
wrong?
can't
Get
use
down.
No,
hands
you just-
to...
She's got a low center of gravity.
Wait, can I use hands to get down?
No.
It doesn't-
No.
What? So I have to go
Oh,
down as
come
well
on.
like that?
You have to go down as well and up.
This is absurdity. My legs don't bend like that.
You have to go down in a crisscross applesauce.
I got it. Hit it.
I'm just going to say
I hit the
cross-legged.
wall.
I don't like crisscross
That's 1
applesauce.
point.
It's very mature.
Okay.
No, that wasn't your fault.
But
No,
you don't-
no deduction.
Don't be leaning up against that wall.
You-
Get away from the
He's
wall.
not. He's
I
just.
can't do this because my knee is so jacked. Like I can't.
Well,
Man,
I'm just hearing
You're
excuses
like this
coming from
bird.
over there.
Well, I'm going to tell you this. I'm at an age where my balls are going to be the first thing to hit the floor if I
And that's
plop
fine.
down and I'm out.
does that count against you?
Yeah.
That's minus half
He's
a
going to
point.
be on the floor for the rest of the
What's
show.
that point
so.
of contact count as?
Well, if you use your hands to get up, you're going to die. So I would just stay there if I were you, forever.
This is pretty discouraging, to be honest.
Well, you have like a knee issue.
It doesn't.
Or what is your problem?
Sure he does.
Oh.
There's nothing on here about knee
Excuses.
issues. I'm sorry,
If
but
you use one hand, it's just 1 point. So you could like
What if I do this?
hit it.
It's over, dude.
What if you just live down there forever? They can't take the point away.
right, exactly.
This is a man who-
This is my new home.
Crowd surfs on, you know,
God.
platforms, and but you can't get up off the floor. Come
Different
on.
animal. One point
did
of
you,
contact.
you just used the desk to get up.
And the hand on the ground.
Oh, minus
no.
17 points. You're in the negative,
he's,
buddy.
He's actually in
I've been dead for 2 years.
He's actually has 2 ropes up in the ceiling too.
According to this study, I died a few
He's a
years ago.
marionette.
Yeah, no,
They
this is not good
say-
for me.
They say it's a good test for overall health because it involves all aspects of fitness that are not aerobic: muscular health, balance, flexibility, and weight. So if you want to try it, they say do it on a rug or mat in case you fall, and have somebody or something like a chair wall next to you in case you need help.
Mine is a flexibility issue.
Don't try. Oh, here it is. Don't try it if you have knee, hip, spine, or joint issues.
Are you serious?
Physical disability. Oh, sorry. I should have read that first.
That's the best kind.
That's fine.
All right.
Sorry.
Well,
Hey, guys, listen. Tomorrow, the summer solstice.
Oh yes,
This is when I said
I love it.
this myself.
What? When you what?
Huh? The solstice. Yes.
Yes, the
One of us must die.
And
we know
which one it's going to be.
Whomever cannot go crisscross and back.
I didn't even see you guys go down, you three.
I did it.
I did it so
in the
quickly.
office.
Yeah, me too.
I'm proud of you for doing what you've done.
Thank you.
I hope you
tried.
live a long and prosperous life.
Thanks, man. It's not going to be a flexible one, but
Prosperous,
it'll be long and prosperous.
Summer solstice nearly here. The sun will reach its annual peak in the northern hemisphere tomorrow at what time? 9:42. 9:42 p.m. Of course. And not only that, but the solstice also marks the beginning of Cancer season.
Ah, yes.
And man, I somebody gave me this article. Here's what your zodiac sign needs to know for this year's summer solstice.
Oh.
And I was reading some of this stuff, and I know you're into this.
Very much so.
It just makes me think you're more crazy than I already thought.
That's fine. I don't care what you think.
No, I know, and which is refreshing as well.
Yeah.
But this is Looney Tune stuff. And
It's just like religion. That's all it is.
sure, okay. No, I understand. I get that.
Yeah.
And maybe I'm ignorant to what some of this stuff is, what some of this stuff means.
Okay.
Because to me, it's all just like a word salad, gibberish. What the hell are you talking about? You're just putting words together that make no sense to sound profound.
Okay.
So can I read you?
Of course.
I want to read you. Now, we got a Leo in here, we got a Pisces, we got a Libra, we got an Aries, and we got a Taurus.
Yeah.
Great.
A real motley crew.
A real motley crew of the zodiac signs. So what this says is, now please let me know what this means.
Okay.
Now, of course, if it's bad, right, we'll say it's all BS.
Yeah, just like the exercise thing.
Right.
That just happened.
No, I'll believe it.
But if it's good,
Rafe and I are Wiccan, okay? We're all over this.
it's like if somebody goes to a psychic for a reading, and at first I'm like, oh, man, this is total BS. It's a scam. You know, it's just somebody throwing stuff out there, and you pay this person a certain amount of money. And if somebody's gone to a psychic and they tell me about it, I'm like, you wasted your money. What BS that is. And if they say, oh, they said something about you, I'll go, what do they say? What,
Now I'm interested.
Now, what do they say? Is it good? I think that's the way I'm going to treat this.
Fine.
If it's good, I'll believe it. If it's bad, I'm going to, it's BS. So it says here, and this is overall, for the next 4 weeks, we'll all be basking in the warmth and sensitivity of this Cancerian energy.
Yeah. It's Cancer season for the next month.
I don't know what that is.
That's a zodiac sign.
Every day I'm cancering. Every day I'm cancering.
Which I feel bad for cancers because, Cancer is also, the
It's
worst
very
thing
bad,
ever.
yeah.
And so I've always hated that.
Okay. So if you're born now, you're a Cancer sign.
You're a Cancer
Okay,
sign.
okay,
Yeah. That's
okay.
what that means.
But you thought this was like leukemia or something?
No.
like that?
I listen. I don't know.
It's fine. That's why
I
we're
knew
talking
it wasn't
about
actual.
The bad one.
The bad cancer.
Yeah.
But depending on where the sun is landing on your chart, we each have something different to expect. So here we go. Leo, me.
Yes.
If the summer, the start of it feels a little slow or even heavy for you, it's likely because of the Cancer sun spotlighting your 12th house of endings, closure, and the unconscious. What?
Okay, so let me explain.
What?
I was talking about my husband. My husband looked up his birth chart last night. So what you essentially have to do to know what your birth chart is about your houses, because there's 12, is you look up where you were born, like in the actual longitude, latitude of where you were born and the time you were born, and how the stars and the moon and the sun is set in that moment of which you arrived to Earth is what your birth chart is. Okay, so your 12th house is a certain thing. And so, there's a second house, which is like relationships. I don't have all that memorized because I'm not that good, but every house has a different meaning. So 12th house.
Okay. Apparently, my 12th house is being spotlighted.
Okay.
There's an opportunity for healing for me now as I come upon my birthday season.
All right.
But first, I'll have to look at my shadow and pay attention to what's coming up for me emotionally.
All right. So, Riz, The 12th house is the ruling planet of Neptune, and that is your house of subconscious dreams, secrets, and spirituality.
Okay, well, dreams may be especially symbolic for me right now, so I got to pay attention. And don't forget, I need to lean on my faith and spirituality.
Okay.
If things feel a little overwhelming.
You need to check in with your spiritual
I guess
self.
so.
You need to go yell in a cave or something.
Pisces,
Moon.
Sup, dog.
feeling flirty?
Not really.
Okay.
With the sun and fellow water sign Cancer, you're getting a serious solar boost in your 5th house of romance, creativity, and self-expression.
Okay.
Let yourself be loud and proud over the next 4 weeks, and you will attract exactly the right people.
Yes. This is self-expression and romance and pleasure.
Cue the summer romance and let yourself have fun. The 5th house is all about joy and celebration, as well as expressing yourself creatively. So the moral of the story is follow your bliss.
There you go.
You jerk. What?
So the next 4 weeks, you're going to have real creative time. Riz is going to need to check in spiritually with himself. Moon, you're going to have a really creative 4 weeks ahead of you.
Tight.
Libra,
Rafe Dean.
you're on track to make big moves over the next 4 weeks.
Oh, I can't wait.
The sun shines its light on your 10th house. Public image, destiny, career.
Yes.
Oh, boy.
This is
Whatever
social
you've
scene.
had cooking up in your mind is ready to be actualized now.
It's about your legacy. It's ruled by Saturn.
Actualized now.
This is big.
Doesn't necessarily mean
You
good.
might reach larger audiences or even start a new project that will surge your professional life forward. It's your move.
OnlyFans.
This
Yep.
is it.
This is it.
It's your move.
That's exciting.
Good.
Taurus.
Yes.
Scott, you are feeling chatty. And you could thank the Cancer sun moving through your 3rd house of communication for that.
All right.
Under these sensitive and sometimes moody rays, you might be feeling or saying some more sentimental things. For instance, this is a great time for healing and heart-centered conversations. The 3rd house also
This is
rules
really what I
siblings
need.
and local networks, so get out in your neighborhood and socialize.
All right.
Talk to your sister, dude.
How come you guys got cool things and mine's just to be a blabbermouth?
You get to walk around the neighborhood and talk to people.
Yeah. that's
Aries.
fun.
What? Yes.
How's your lawn doing?
Lame. Hey, I believe in a 13-month calendar, by the way, so I want to
Oh,
see
you
where
do?
I'm really at on this.
Go off, Queen.
Are you going
Mayan.
Mayan calendar?
Yeah,
on
let's
us?
go Mayan. Let's see where I'm
I
really
haven't
at
been
on
into
this.
2012.
Well, talk to your
What's
neighbors
Mayan
about
is
it.
yours, you know.
Hey, thank you.
Aries, with the Cancer sun making its way through your 4th house
Ooh.
of home and family. Aries, you might be feeling like more of a homebody than usual.
Oh, for show.
Nothing wrong with that, so lean in. Get
Home
cozy.
for show.
Get cozy, have friends over, and revel in all things domestic.
Definitely invite Scott. He's
Yeah,
walking
you
around
want
the
me to talk?
neighborhood.
You want to
looking
come
to
talk to my
I just want
at
to
my
talk,
house?
talk.
This is a great time to revamp your space as well as prioritize emotional safety and security. Of course, with summer festivities in full swing, you might feel more selective about what you're spending your time with.
Yes.
Nearest and dearest only.
Spot on.
Well, there we go.
I'm liking this.
This didn't seem bad.
Yeah, for you.
Yeah,
you
the
guys got
houses
cool
are there's 12 houses, and when you go see like a deep psychic, they will break down all of your houses and tell you where you are, and that moves. It's kind of like hormones where it changes almost every day because we move on this earth and we rotate and we go through the space, and the stars are different every day. So, for you. The energy is different. This is my like how people are Christian or Muslim or whatever.
Yeah,
This is what
your
I
spirituality.
subscribe to.
Now, will it affect things you do?
No, but I'm just more aware. Like I won't if it's like, oh, don't go out of your house tomorrow because the moon. No, I'm not going to be like that crazy. But I'm going to be aware.
There is a famous radio station out in Los Angeles. It's KROQ. It's, at one point, it was like, oh my God, this is a radio station that broke bands,
Yeah, it set the tone for all the
set the
stations
tone
across the nation.
right.
It's a heritage station.
And it was like, wow, you got a job at K-Rock in L.A. It was like one of the goals if you're a music DJ.
That was my goal in college, was to be at K-Rock.
Yeah, or if a band broke on K-Rock, you're like, dude, here it goes. Here it goes.
And this is a true story. Somebody got hired to do the midday shift. So the midday shift would be 10 to 2. That's what Donnie does here at the Point. And this was 10, 15 years ago. And they got hired. What a great honor.
Amazing.
Go do middays at K-Rock. And you're starting on, I'm just going to throw a date out there, March 9th. And they go, can't do that. Sorry, Mercury's in retrograde.
Oh.
And I will not be starting this week. And they go, you will not be working here. So
Goodbye.
goodbye.
Yeah, you're not supposed to get like your hair cut when Mercury's in retrograde.
You believe that?
I mean, yeah, I can believe it. I can also believe K-Rock going, oh, is that a fact?
Yeah, is that a fact?
No thanks.
Yeah, no thanks.
We don't know what's going to happen in 3 months when we need you to do something, and you got something else that's going to bring.
That's
Yeah.
crazy.
Doing it.
Yeah, that's crazy.
I mean,
So it's not like that, right?
Nah, it's not.
I
like that.
couldn't believe it.
Like
I couldn't believe it.
Last week I got my hair cut and it was the full moon. And I didn't know when I booked it that it was the full moon. And I did have a thought as I'm sitting in the chair because I don't like getting my hair cut because I just hate looking different. And I thought, well, here we go. It's a full moon. We're getting this stupid haircut. Here we go.
Bang time.
But I still did it, you know.
Oh,
I persevered.
what a warrior.
So brave.
Yeah, it's going to say that on your tombstone.
Yeah.
Or whatever, when we plant you,
Yeah.
and then the tree there'll be a plaque on the tree that says,
A prayer rock.
got her haircut while Mercury was
When
in
she shouldn't
retrograde.
have.
I know. Thanks, guys.
Warrior princess.
Anyway, we're all
I
full of
couldn't
Looney Tunes.
believe.
She's a white-winged dove. It's like was playing in her head while she was getting her hair cut.
I couldn't believe this person had the balls.
Dude, it's just the same thing as like, what's it, John Goodman's character in The Big Lebowski when it says Chavez or whatever, like he's not going to work.
I don't roll on Shabbos.
Yeah, Chavez.
Chavez.
Chavez. Well,
That's
I don't know the
Mexican's Sabbath.
It's the same thing. It's like,
Is it?
It's kind of like,
I mean, that's a Saturday.
yeah, but it's
That's
the
a
same
sundown
kind of
Saturday.
idea,
Okay, well.
It's funny though,
It's
because
problematic if you can't work, if you got to work Saturdays.
zodiacs and religions, they all get the brunt of our skepticism.
Congratulations, you got the job. Oh my God, I've worked so hard.
Yeah, you can't do it
This
like
is up
that.
top of the mountain. Top of the mountain. Here I am.
That's crazy to me, dude.
Here I am, and no, I'm sorry, I cannot start on March 9th.
You've gone too far.
Mercury's in retrograde, and and you're fired. And we've moved on. I'm sorry. But there's somebody else
Good for the next person.
who's willing to work when Mercury's in
Mercury sure was looking out for the next
Right, yeah,
person.
all right.
The second in line has a crippling cocaine addiction, but they are willing to come in.
Yeah, they'll be here.
They'll work when Mercury's in retrograde and holidays if we
That's
need.
right.
So that's
You can't let it guide you that hard, man. You got to keep it in the back of your mind, and when stuff's happening, you got to be like, I'll be damned.
right.
That person's career is soaring.
Hey, I'll be honest. I got a tarot reading card, and she nailed it. About once a week, I'm like, God damn, Linda, you're good. You know what I mean? Like, when she was doing it, I was like, okay, very funny. But then you just keep it in the back of your mind, and stuff starts happening, and you're like, well, that's
Yeah, Rafe goes to my
kinda wild.
astrologer. So we're on the same wavelength as far as letting this stuff incorporate into our lives.
She
Well-
gave me the old
The old
tarot.
open your wallet and let me
Yeah.
take everything inside.
Yeah, well, it wasn't that pricey.
Well, I don't know where this person is right now, okay?
I went in disguise.
I don't know what this radio personality, if they're even in radio anymore.
Is it a man or a woman?
It was a woman.
Damn. Had the
I
opportunity
didn't
for
wanna-
middays at K-Rock. Oh!
I'll be honest,
My
dude. I want
dream.
you to go to an astrologer, and I want to film it. I want to force you, the skeptic, to go in with an open mind, just because I think it would be fun for me and us to watch. I'd like to see you get your little reading, maybe get a tarot reading,
We could get her in here, I'm sure.
and it's just like, this is the card of anger. It just keeps coming up.
There's only one of these in the deck, but for some reason there's 5 on the table.
I've never actually even seen this card before. It's just like,
How'd this get in there?
it's just 2 thumbs down.
Right.
It keeps coming
Wow.
out. It's like usually it's 2 clocks. It's just 2 thumbs down. I don't even know where this card came from.
Never seen that one before.
I read something last night, and I'm talking to all the moms out there. All the moms out there, I want your opinion on this, and if this is true or not. And Actually, I tend to believe this is the case, maybe at least in my house. Here's something a lot of moms might relate to. For many women, it's not the kids who are the biggest source of stress at home. It's their husbands. And according to this big survey of 7,000 moms, almost half said their husbands stressed them out more than their kids did. On average, moms rated their daily stress level at a whopping 8.5 out of 10.
Wow.
And many feel like the husbands are sometimes more like an extra kid
That's real cool.
than an equal teammate. And my wife is out of town. And I read this last night. I was sitting in bed and I had the TV on. I was scrolling through news, and I do some show prep and I read a lot of stuff. And I sat there and I went, huh? And it made me reflect. Am I an equal teammate to my wife? Yeah. Okay. A lot of the times. Am I sometimes a third child? Yeah, I am. I am, and I need to recognize that. I need to recognize that. Even in households where both parents work full-time, most moms still feel like they carry most of the responsibility for running the household and taking care of stuff. The biggest complaint that moms have is there's just not enough time in the day to get it all done and not enough support from their partners. So are we the extra kid in the house sometimes?
Sometimes.
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess so. And I think it's time I may realize that.
Okay.
Right.
And what am I going to do about it?
Be better.
Acknowledge it.
Just do
Acknowledge
better.
it.
Yeah, you see the acknowledgement as growth, as we all do.
Maybe that's it.
And
I mean, that's the whole reason to get married is so you don't have to grow up.
Great.
Let them do all the responsible things.
that might have been one of the worst things you've ever said.
What?
But I mean, hey,
Okay, somebody's going to hold this house
You
and
do
world
you.
down, I guess.
Yeah.
you carry that.
But do you moms really feel that way?
I hope.
Are
not.
we an extra kid?
I mean, I'm definitely a kid inside for sure, but I don't think I'm a kid in the household. No. But I'm a big
I think
kid.
I may be.
I got some serious
I
arrested
think
development.
I may be.
And honestly, most of it I'm kind of stoked on. I don't want to grow up.
I don't want to grow up either.
Because if I did, I wouldn't be a Toys R Us kid.
I don't know. I mean, I don't have kids, so I'm not a mom. I don't really have an opinion on this. I'm just thinking about my husband, though. Like,
Think about your husband.
is he a child? I mean, no. I mean, last night I had to be like, hey, can you fold the laundry that I have sitting in a basket while I go, like, take my shower and get ready for bed and all this stuff? I'd, like, ask him to do that, but that's not him being a
What
child.
a monster.
That's him just not
Hey.
knowing what was going on. And I'm like, can you please do this?
You better finish all your dinner, or else there's no dessert.
Yes.
See if he said that at some point. Yes.
He didn't even eat dinner last night. Like, I made this Buddha bowl thing, and
Did he say no thanks?
no, he wasn't hungry. I'm like, all right, I'm just going to eat and go to bed.
Ooh, that may be
Oh.
Was bad meal?
yeah.
Oh,
It
no.
sounds that's what it sounds like.
It's so delicious. It was a lemon garlic
that's
maple
that's what it sounds like. It sounds like
seasoning. Tim had a bad night. Terrible dinner. Wife asking to
Fold the
please
laundry,
Fold the
no
laundry.
dinner.
Yeah.
No love making. It was terrible.
Oh.
Poor Tim.
Poor Tim. Poor Tim. All right, speaking of food.
Dude,
Yes.
I got a belly full of, I did a thing for Brado yesterday, like
Who?
Brado, it's like this company downtown. It's a marketing strategy company. They did like a storyteller series, and I went down there as a guest and a speaker or whatever. But they fed us afterwards.
Hey, what'd you have?
Katie's Pizza and Pasta down at
Nice.
Ballpark Village, and man, I'd never had it before, but it was like this lemon pasta.
Yeah,
Just saying
good.
lemon made me think of it, like lemon cauliflower pasta. Whew, I tore it up.
I've had that.
They did the family.
Delicious.
They put us in the side room and did the family style.
Yeah,
so they were just bringing out.
Nice. I tell you what.
I hadn't had pasta in a while, and I feel like I went a little overboard.
You went ham?
There's 0% chance I was going to try the crisscross applesauce thing because I got a belly full of pasta.
I feeling a little bloated this morning.
Danger zone.
I will say their frozen pizzas are pretty good.
Yeah. I didn't know they were doing the frozen pizza.
Yeah,
they sell them there.
Yeah, they do frozen pizzas, so you can take them home. Take and bake.
I hadn't been to the Ballpark Village locations. Very nice, and it was packed.
Are they in the grocery stores?
They are.
Oh, okay.
They're in select grocery stores. They are delicious. A little pricey.
I feel like frozen pizza, for the most part, is fairly pricey.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, your Red Barons. I mean, you could get.
Well, I don't consider that frozen pizza.
you get
half
you get
cardboard, half.
That's emergency stuff.
You're not sure whether you're eating the cardboard underneath or the actual pizza. I get it.
Well, they brought out some hummus, but instead of pita, they just give you basically a blank pizza slice. You know what I mean? And I'm like, oh, this is what a great idea. It's just
That's
like
the cannellini bean dip.
Yeah.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
It's pretty good. And I also like the fact that it was just like it was like if it was a video game, it was your stock character. It's just a pizza crust. Nothing on it, no sauce, nothing, just a fluffy crust. And so you had a big pita to dip.
Yeah, good. It's good.
And I was like, all right, I get on board with this. But man, I went too hard in the paint.
Well, have you ever been to Zaxby's?
Oh yeah, we
Heard
do.
of it.
I'll be there in a couple weeks, I'm sure.
That's chicken Culver's, dude.
Is it good?
It's all right.
It's Culver's, but chicken instead of burgers.
Yeah, yeah. It's Culver's and Chick-fil-A, somewhere in between. It's like the goalpost in between.
But is it good?
Is it good?
It's all right.
It was all right.
I hear a lot about it.
It's fine. It's just,
It was okay when I had it.
yeah. It's whatever.
Well,
Selling me.
A lot of
coming
folk
to St. Louis.
Really?
Yeah.
Zaxby's is coming here.
Zaxby's
Huh?
is coming to
It's already
St.
here.
Louis.
I don't feel like it. I don't know how. I hope it does well. I'll say that.
So it's an Atlanta-based food chain.
Yeah, we go down in. I think it's in Tennessee. It's on the way down to Alabama that we go every year, and it's always the stop. It just happens to be when enough people are complaining in the car that they're hungry and we need to stop. Even though I'm like, well, we just ate. I told you about this.
Right.
It's always the here's a place and it has a sign with food, and it's always Zaxby's.
Well, they're going to open 20 new locations across the St. Louis region.
Gosh, what?
Making a big, major expansion into the Midwest.
They're going all in.
So known for chicken fingers, wings, salads, sandwiches, Zaxby's currently operates more than 970 restaurants across 18 states.
I'll tell you what, it is better than your favorite.
So they are actively seeking franchise partners in St. Louis. And they've already started identifying neighborhoods for its first wave of stores. They're not saying where yet.
Call
But
me.
they already know the areas they're going to put these stores in. So I guess this is a fairly new company, 1990. Founded in Statesboro, Georgia. Zaxby's has built a pretty loyal following in the Southeast and now accelerating its national growth. They opened 30 new locations in 2024, another 60 this year, including the 20 in our area. They just got into Vegas and Philly and New Jersey and Maryland. Chicken's hot right now, guys.
It is, man. I was just getting ready to say that. Is our country having a chicken revolution? Because I feel like every restaurant that I see opening is chicken themed now. So many.
Taco Bell now. Taco Bell is starting this week. Taco Bell's now doing crispy chicken. Taco Bell jumping headfirst into the chicken wars with their own spin on chicken strips.
Yeah.
Chicken taco, chicken burrito. The new crispy chicken strips are the star attraction, apparently. Marinated in jalapeno buttermilk, breaded with crunchy tortilla chip crumbs and fried to perfection. Order them solo. Order them with I guess some new sauces. So yes, the chicken strip war. We're in it, guys. We are in it.
Yeah.
Be careful.
What do you think those? What do you think those are like? Like if you have to compare them. Look, here they are. They kind of look like
The Culver's.
Culver's-y or Popeyes-y. That's not. It's thicker than Raising Cane's. It looks like the thing actually sticks to the chicken.
Well, they've been doing chicken nuggets for a while.
The breading.
Yeah.
Taco Bell. They've been doing nuggies for a while, and man, somebody had them one day, and not a fan.
Nuggets or strips?
I didn't like. I mean, it's Taco Bell for one thing, so my expectations were not high.
Well, you went in.
You went in with a bad attitude.
No,
You went in with a poor attitude.
Come on,
I
man.
was like, maybe the chicken will be the move.
Apparently, they got a spicy ranchero sauce or an
It
avocado
tastes-
ranch sauce. That sounds good.
I can't explain it, but it I don't know. They have a weird taste. Like they're almost. I can't tell if they put some kind of like Mexican seasoning on them
Is
or
it
if
the
they're
Taco
frying
Bell?
it.
Is it that Taco Bell aftertaste? You know the
Yeah.
Taco Bell aftertaste?
I did-
where
yes, it is that.
It's like I inhaled plastic or something?
Yes.
Yeah, well,
And vodka.
do you like their fries, their Taco Bell fries?
Okay,
Do you know about the 15-minute rule?
I do not.
So if you love the Taco Bell nacho fries, but have been disappointed by a soggy batch,
You can drop them on the floor for 15 minutes.
they've got there's something called the 15-minute rule. And now, according to a Taco Bell employee, all Taco Bell locations are supposed to make fresh nacho fries every 15 minutes.
Yeah, right.
That means if your fries are not hot and crispy, you could politely ask for a new batch. Just mention that you know about the 15-minute timer.
Oh, I'm sure they'll. I'm
Love
sure.
it.
Yeah. Hey, listen, I know about the 15-minute timer.
Oh, you do?
Okay, cool. Yeah.
cool.
This has started off well.
Sure, they'll love putting their cigarette out at the dumpster and walking inside
Fine, I'll drop another batch.
to drop a batch for you.
Well, and speaking of the chicken chicken strips, McDonald's now has their McCrispy strips, and people are underwhelmed. They're calling them McChewy,
Ew.
McBasic, McTerrible.
McChewy.
He's my favorite Star Wars character.
So again, just like the nacho fries, you could ask them to just drop a fresh batch for you.
All right.
People are nervous to do it though.
I mean, who's got this kind of time? The whole reason you're at any of those types of places is like you don't even want to think
Right.
about food. You just want to get something done to move on to the next thing. I'm
You've
not
already
going to sit here
given
and be
up.
like, oh, let me think about my satisfaction.
Expectations are low as it is.
Yeah.
Is that what it is?
Yeah.
I think I'm not satisfied.
Every-
I'll stick around for another 15 minutes and then request something.
Every time I've gone through a drive-through for fast food, I've already given up. I've already had this pact with myself where it's like, well, you're crossing a line.
Yeah.
You're clogging your arteries, and we're just going to do it and forgive ourselves later. We'll walk extra this week, I guess.
Yeah, you're trading everything you know for I don't want my stomach to be hungry right now. That's all. It's a temporary. It's a Band-Aid. And listen, I'm I'm a fan.
And I never want to be able to stand up from sitting Indian style.
Yeah, sometimes it's a single drop of joy and a bucket of misery of the day. I'll be honest. You just go through the drive-thru and you accept it, and you're like, I know that I'm going to feel bad afterwards.
But for this little hit of dopamine,
It's going to be.
Yeah.
it's going to be fine.
And that's it. It's an addiction.
It's going to be.
I'm just satisfying you.
Oh yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, I feel like when I pull up to a fast food drive-thru, I'm like, this is my dealer.
Right. So
Hey man,
and it,
I'm like knocking on his door at 7:00 in the morning. Hey man,
right. So if I'm going to get my fry high, I'm not going to complain about it and go back to the dealer and be like, hey man, I need this again. I need this in a better sense.
No, you're going to go
I'm
back.
already here for the drug.
You'll be back.
I got the drug.
Even
It's
if you
fine.
got bad drugs, you'll be back because you're addicted.
When's the last time you had fries and you didn't finish them? It don't matter if they're bad.
You're right.
Good point.
I mean, who are you?
It's a bonus if you get good fries.
Yeah, always.
It's nice.
But I mean, I'm gambling for the entertainment. I'm not. I'm rolling the dice. No, it's just fries. I'll eat
I've
it.
thrown some out.
Right? You throwing fries out?
I've thrown some soggy shoestrings right in the trash.
From whom?
No, not me.
Because I mean, I don't go anywhere.
Like
where
they
I'm
were
not-
old.
Dude, soggy bag fry, the best.
It's like delivery, and they put them in styrofoam, and then they steam up in there, and then they
Oh,
get like
well, mistakes were
squishy
made.
and gross, and they just weren't good. I don't want to say where because it's like a local place that I like.
I love a mushy McDonald's bag fry, dipping that into barbecue sauce. That is sweet.
There we go.
a mushy bag fry.
And you know what?
Does sound good.
This new pickle sandwich bun trend, I can't get
know.
behind. You like this?
Yeah.
Really?
You haven't done it yet?
Who's doing this?
It's where you take sliced pickles, like, thin sliced sandwich sliced pickles, and you put some shredded cheese in a pan with some oil, and instead of a bun, you have a cheesy pickle slice as the bun.
It's not. It's even just.
Oh, you cheese fry a pickle so it hardens?
You don't even have to fry them. It's just people using pickles as buns.
Yeah.
Period.
Okay, that's
An
actually
unwich.
not a bad idea. Oh, that's what Jimmy John's was doing that, right?
Yeah.
Well, unwich there is lettuce.
Oh, okay.
Wet
But
fish.
So
they did
instead
have-
of bread, thick deli-style pickles are sliced and used as the bun, holding everything together from PB&Js to fully loaded meat and cheese combos or...
PB&J.
Yeah.
No, that's
Dude, if you
that's
ever-
clickbait. Nobody's doing that.
You have a PB&J with a spear of pickle on the side. It's the perfect meal.
Oh, yeah, but you're not spreading peanut butter and jelly on a pickle.
I'm
People
not.
are.
No, they're not.
I would
I'm
try
telling
it.
you.
How do
No,
you do
they're
that?
not. No way, dude.
I mean, how does it even stay on
What
there?
a mess. Is
Right.
someone feeding it to you? That sounds crazy.
You got to get a syringe and like inject it into the pickle, I think.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. How does it stay
I
on?
don't know, man.
Unless you hollow a pickle out, like Scott's saying, and you inject, and you've got a base where it's not coming out, like that sounds like
This is a thing.
You're just asking for a cleanup. I don't like to clean up after my food. That's what my mouth is for.
You know, pickles used to have like a bad rep, I feel, and now everybody loves pickles. You
Especially
notice?
kids.
Yeah, like kids love pickles.
They're having their times.
It's big business, that pickle business.
Yep.
Pickles having its time right now.
And I feel fortunate because I invested in it just about 5 years ago,
You
right
did?
before the boom. Yeah.
Yeah, it's
a
the
pickle baron.
Pickle
it's
coin.
a pickle bubble. Hey, before we move on, I do want to I do want to bring this story up. Has anybody here been to court?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
The tennis.
Like I've been to court before, and I've not been to court as a defendant, but I've been in a courtroom. I was, for jury duty. I had to go to court for as a witness for a case. But when you go to court, there's a certain, decorum.
Yeah.
There's a certain way you're supposed to act. There's a certain way you are to dress, correct?
Yes.
Yeah.
If you're smart.
According to some folks, yes. Not everybody
Not everybody
follows that.
knows this, I guess. But if you are, let's say you are a defendant in a case, or you are before a judge who will then, render a verdict on you and then sentence you to whoever, to whatever they see necessary. Again, you want to look your best, right?
Yeah.
A T-shirt is not something you should wear to court, right?
No, if you have other options, that's not the thing.
Yeah.
If you only have a T-shirt, that's okay, but put a blazer on. Borrow a blazer from somebody.
You could borrow something nice, a button down.
Yeah.
Don't wear a T-shirt to court.
Right.
Especially if it's a T-shirt with a weird slogan on it.
Oh, no.
Like, F you, judge.
So this
Not guilty.
is out in nope. It's better. This is a courtroom out in Texas.
Oh,
A guy named Sammy Morris was in a Jefferson County courtroom for a felony hearing when the judge, Raquel West, spotted his questionable wardrobe choice with her saying, "What made you think that was a good shirt to wear to court this morning?" What could possibly?
what was the charge?
It didn't say. It was a felony hearing. So the judge says, "What made you think this was a good shirt to wear to court this morning?"
Tell me it was one of them 90s shirts, like Big Johnson or something like that.
Or how about the FBI one?
Oh, yeah, like a female body inspector.
Come on, please, finally.
Or was
No.
it like, if the glove don't fit, you must acquit? Like it's like a throwback to
Oh,
OJ?
that would be.
No.
Where are
Oh.
those shirts?
He wore a shirt that said, "World's best farter."
Well,
He can't be. Come on, that's
not a
innocent.
bad
You know what?
idea. He is showing some
Throw
of his
that case
accolades.
out. That guy came to brighten your day.
This is a good guy.
Is it true?
I don't know. I guess you're
Judge, this was
taking a
gift.
gamble. They could go either way. The judge is disarmed, like, "Oh my God, how can I throw you in prison?"
Sweet boy.
with this sense of humor,
Right.
nah.
It wouldn't last today.
Or it could go this way, where the judge is like, "What? This is you don't wear this." Here's how it went down. Listen to this.
Good morning, sir. What made you think that was a good shirt to wear to court this morning?
A Texas judge was not going to overlook this defendant's attire. After all, this shirt was made to get attention.
The only shirt you had in your closet. World's best farter. That's great.
Actually, the shirt went on to say, I mean father.
Okay, well, okay.
See, I knew there was.
I like the groove court, by the way.
Yeah, no kidding.
Yeah, what cool music they got.
I like the gal that has to do that for the voiceover.
So it said "world's best farter," and then scribbled underneath it said, "I mean father." Either way,
This judge wasn't about to take any gas today.
Was it Father's
I
Day?
mean father. While the attempt at a joke was duly noted, this judge was not amused and reminded the defendant to take his court proceedings more seriously.
You're in felony court. You need to dress appropriately to felony court, and that's not appropriate.
She continued with the proceeding by scolding the man for not hiring an attorney for his case. She ordered him back to court in a month and suggested he start making better choices.
World's best farter. That's great.
That's great. Maybe his kid got it for him, and he was trying to have some good
Yeah.
luck from his son or something.
I mean, it could have
Daughter.
gone really good for him, too, I think. There's a chance.
there's I guess a chance.
His lawyer shows up in a world's best bastard, I mean barrister t-shirt. And he's like, "Oh, I hired a lawyer."
Welcome to
She's
smelling.
like, "Okay, this is enough of this."
Yeah, I would like to know what this guy was in court for, but
Dude, this reminds me of two stories. One, do you guys remember the guy that wore the Miami Dolphins jersey he was being accused of stealing to court?
Oh, no.
He was in court appearing before a judge for a hearing for stealing a Miami Dolphins jersey, and he had it on, and she goes, "What was the jersey? Number 15? And he's like, "That's right." "And you claim you don't have any knowledge?" "I don't know what they're talking about." And she's like, "So you're wearing it right now." And the guy literally has the jersey on that he was accused of stealing from the store. And that was hilarious. And have you guys
judge
seen,
didn't find that amusing.
the judge was laughing, but I mean, like, at his stupidity, I think.
Huh.
And then, have you guys seen the video of the lady who got farted on in the grocery store crying on?
No.
Oh my God! I can't believe. I'm so surprised you haven't played this already on the air. There was a lady like in tears on the internet because someone farted on her in an Albertsons. It's been going around like TikTok and Twitter.
Like crop dusted her?
Yeah, just real over the top reaction. Tried to get the store to throw him out of the store. This guy right here.
Was he the world's best farter? I mean, you can't get mad at him.
Stealing a Dolphin jersey?
Judge Ward seems a bit suspicious of the situation, and when she begins asking Walker about
He's
the
wearing
Dolphins
it.
jersey he's wearing, he's got an answer.
This ain't the one, young.
No?
No, ma'am. It show on that I ain't took no jersey. I ain't took now jersey.
I'm not even interested
Walker
in
first
jerseys.
insists the Dolphins jersey he's wearing is not the one he allegedly stole.
Sure.
This ain't the one, young.
He then claims he didn't steal a jersey at all.
It show on that I ain't took no jersey. I ain't took now jersey.
The judge then turns to the public defender for his take. But he decides to raise an issue regarding an inconsistency on the police report.
Well, sir, you still have the tag on it, and
So that's the ink tag.
yeah. Oh, is this what the one you're talking about? I hope she doesn't curse in here. Hang on. Let's see if
I
this
don't
is.
remember cursing, but I don't hold my feet to the fire on
Like
that.
two guys that walked up next to us, you know, Peyton like walked away, my wife walked away for just a second, and they were like snickering to to themselves or something.
Yay.
And like I didn't really think much of it, so I'm just looking at the candy aisle trying to decide what candy I want. And he walks by and gets like inches from me and just rips one, like farts like this far from me. That's disgusting to say. I can't even believe I'm having to say this. But he did. And about that time, Peyton walked up, like, didn't witness what happened, but, like, seconds later, and I'm, like, upset, and I follow after him. I was like, is there a reason? You were just so disrespectful to me. Called you a minute. Come here. And he, never felt so dehumanized.
Not
Really?
only did he fart on her, when she confronted him, he said, just walk away, you fucking bitch.
Oh, damn it. God. I was so close.
Well,
Guarantee
this
you
one
didn't say
clearly
that.
never
I
had
flew
cousins.
too close to the sun there. I was.
Sorry, man. It wasn't the lady. It was her
Rafe does
wife.
it again.
Dude, if you don't have cousins, maybe this would be appalling to have happen to you. I mean, nobody wants to be farted on by strangers.
Or crop dusted.
But also, like, who hasn't been farted on? Like, my cousins used to pin me down.
Again, that's why you go to the grocery store so you can let go of that gas. You just walk around aisles.
She goes on to be like, it gets even more ridiculous because she's just like, so then I went and I told the management, what kind of Albertsons are you running to? The people are just farting all over people. And they told me, they went and talked to the man, and then they came and said, can't you guys just leave? They asked us to leave. And I was just like, yeah, I'm sure there's some dude cutting meat back there that was like, what happened to you?
Like, hey, this just happened. I was just disrespected in your store and called names like several times. And security guard went and talked to him.
The tears are
came
done.
back.
Okay,
and
come
they
back.
all just kind of looked at us and was like, well, can't y'all just leave?
No.
Is this a standard for society?
Now it's become it's a global mission she's on. Is this the standard for society now? And I'm
my
like,
goodness.
man,
Is this where we're at now?
first world problems.
Well, maybe she was afraid that
That is pretty
somebody was
cool.
going to blame her.
That is pretty cool.
I honestly
That her
thought
life
that
is
when
going
she
so well.
first said my wife walked up, and I was like, is this all just a smokescreen because you farted because you thought your wife was in a different aisle, and then she walked up and
And she took it this far?
yeah, and now you're like, you're selling it so hard that it wasn't you. They're like, I swear to God. And the guy was probably like, what are you talking about, lady?
Yeah. I was a
Get out
salad.
here, you effing B. And she's like, oh, he called me a B. And she's like, he didn't seem to know what you were talking
This
about.
is how far she took it.
This is like how far she took it to cover her own fart stink.
That she's gone with a viral video.
In which case, I have a little bit of respect for that. That she's willing, she's like,
I'm willing to take this to the end.
They got into an argument in the car, and she's like, oh, yeah, well, why don't you go on the internet and tell everyone about it then, since you're so offended, since it hurt you so bad. She's like, you know what, I will do that. Crying some crocodile tears.
It's like when George Costanza said he had a house in the Hamptons to Susan's parents.
They drive all the way
And they drive all the way to the Hamptons. And it's an empty lot. We got to take a break, but first. I've never heard that before, Rafe. That's hilarious.
I like that.
Today's Teamers Remember the Day is brought to us by Hot Shot Sports Bar and Grill. Join Lern and myself at the new reopened Hot Shots in Arnold. You know, they were hit with a tornado back on 314 Day on March 14th. Had some pretty extensive damage to the Hot Shots down there in Arnold. But reopen, we got there on Saturday. From Farmington, Mallory Bales is out.
Yeah, Mallory.
Mallory's favorite part of the show is yours truly.
Oh.
Whoa.
OJ.
She works at Cracker Barrel. Grew up listening to The Point, even from another state. She is allergic to cats and dogs, so she decided to adopt a ball python.
Oh, nice.
Named Sir Plush. Well, there you go. Now you know everything about Mallory. Mallory Bales from Farmington is our Teamers Remember the Day. Get super sweet Teamers Remember the Day soccer jersey. Get yourself signed up 1057thepoint.com/teamriz. All right, crap on next. Learn what he got for us.
Hulk Hogan is not dying, so calm down. Who's having a baby in their 70s? Charlie Sheen's got a new book coming out. And bad covers plus some music that stole the movie.
All right, we got that. We got your crappy birthdays. We got the porno birthday. All that and more next in your Crap on Celebrity. Stay there. The program phone number 314-624-3833 or 618-398-3833. The Mick Ultra Studio Cams, 1057thepoint.com/Riz. The socials at RIZZ Show. Your emails, rizshow1057thepoint.com. Our texter, 314-649-DUMB. Did you just sniff your armpits?
I did. I changed my deodorant, and
How's
I'm
it
not.
going?
I don't know, man. Like last night, I had to put on more deodorant before I went into Pilates, and I don't know. Like, I apologize if I smell weird.
Thank you.
I didn't smell anything.
Okay.
It's June, so it's Men's Health Awareness Month, and we're having our buddy Dr. Hawatmeh from South County Urological in around 8 o'clock talking about men's health, prostate stuff, ED stuff, urinary issues, testicular health,
I have a lot of
vasectomies,
questions.
sex myths, embarrassing moments. I don't know. We'll talk about it all.
I thoroughly enjoyed getting to know him that first year when Rafe and I joined the show, and he really did have an answer to all of my questions.
Well, he's a smart dude.
He is. And I, as a woman, I have tons because I don't have the parts that you guys have. You know what I mean? And I have questions. I'm deeply interested.
Well, bring your penis questions here.
Yes. Text them to us.
Text them to us. Email us.
Your questions.
Yeah, not your penis.
Yeah, please.
Sorry.
Even something like kidney stones or, fertility questions.
Hemorrhoids.
Dr. Hawatmeh, well, I don't know.
I want to know.
I don't know if
Do
he
men get more hemorrhoids
I don't
than
know
women?
if he deals in hemorrhoids.
Maybe he does. You don't know.
I mean, he's a urologist.
Yeah.
Well, that's near.
That's more of a proctology thing. I
kind of want to
He's
know.
probably got a good friend.
It's near, but it's oh so far.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
It's the Gooch divide, yeah.
Yes. Yes, the taint highway is the big divide.
Yeah, if we start going there, where does it end? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Hey, let's ask. No question's a bad question, okay?
Okay.
I'm not sure if he's the hemorrhoid guy, but listen.
Front end, not back end.
He may know. I don't know.
Yeah.
All right, today is, today is June 19th. Back in the day, 163 years ago, 1862, slavery outlawed in the U.S. territories. Today is Juneteenth.
Happy Juneteenth.
91 years ago, 1934, for some reason, the FCC was created.
Damn it.
44 years ago, 1981, Superman 2 was released. 41 years ago, 1984, the Chicago Bulls picked Michael Jordan from the University of North Carolina, third in the NBA draft. So, a great trivia question is, so 1984, NBA draft, Michael Jordan goes third.
Mm-hmm.
Who went 1 and 2?
Scottie Pippen.
Nope.
Magic Johnson.
Nope.
Charles Barkley.
Charles Barkley went fifth.
Isaiah Thomas.
Charles Barkley went fifth that.
Show me.
Show me the guy that went to the Hornets.
There's one guy I know because he never did anything.
Yes, Sam Bowie.
Sam Bowie.
Sam Bowie
that's
went
right.
second.
He always he was in
And
that
I
documentary.
I believe first was The Dream.
Yes. Hakeem Olajuwon went number 1.
okay.
Sam Bowie went number 2.
So that GM probably kept his job.
Yeah, he did good.
Yeah, he did good.
The Sam Bowie GM probably did not keep his job.
Hakeem Olajuwon went to the Rockets. Sam Bowie went to the Trailblazers. Jordan went to the Bulls.
Good.
Barkley went 5th. He went to the 76ers. And John Stockton went 16th
Where's Larry Bird? Is he on that
and
list?
went to the Jazz.
He was already.
He was already in the league.
I've been loving watching these, I think it's Vernon Maxwell interviews. Have you seen these? Where he's telling, like, spilling the tea on NBA stories from the Jordan, like the 90s.
No.
He said Hakeem Olajuwon slapped the taste out of his mouth in the locker room because he was like, he's a hothead. He's like, I was talking trash on all my teammates. He's like, Hakeem Olajuwon's like 7 feet tall, and he goes,
Imagine the size of his hands.
yeah, that's what he said. He goes, Maxie, why are you talking this silliness? This is unprofessional. And he goes, you know what? F you too, Dream. I'm sick of you. And he said, I sat down in the locker room, and he goes, man, he smacked the dog's out of me. He's like, he hit me so hard. He's like, he's got big old hands. He's got big old banana hands.
Yeah, dude. His
And he's
hands the
like-
size of a
That's what he
cinder
said.
block.
He goes, it felt like he punched me with a closed fist. Embarrassed me in front of everybody.
He's
He's
got
like,
a cinder block on the end of his wrist.
he said
That's
he flew off
ridiculous.
the bench and I was like,
Well, think about those fingers, like how big your fingers
His
are.
fingers probably didn't even hit him. That's
dude is
behind
funny,
your
man.
head.
He's a funny dude. Like, look up any Vernon Maxwell like podcast.
Well, I love the turn of phrase, slap the taste out of somebody's mouth. This makes me happy.
He did.
Speaking of basketball, 15 years ago today in 2010, 7'7" Sudanese basketball player Manute Bol dies at the age of 48.
Is Bol still playing?
I thought he got hurt.
I'll be there.
Dude, he was amazing to watch. I mean, it was like, I mean, he's the skinniest, tallest dude I've ever seen in the NBA. And if he
Manute Bol?
No, his son.
His son.
When he was playing for the Nuggets, right? I think he was one of the maybe sixth man or something like that for the Nuggets. And every time he come out, I'm like, look at that guy.
Well, his dad, Manute Bol, who passed away this day 15 years ago, is 16th on the NBA career blocks list and actually blocked more shots than he scored points during his career.
Remember he did a cruise commercial. Do you remember that?
Manute Bol?
I can't remember if it's Carnival Cruise or whatever, but he's like, I am Manute Bol, and I'll be there.
Sounds familiar.
Imagine being 7'7" and trying to sleep in a cruise cabin.
12 years ago in 2013, James Gandolfini dies of a massive heart attack in Italy. He was 51. And 9 years ago in 2016, Star Trek star Anton Yelchin was killed in a freak accident in his driveway when his car rolled back and pinned him against a pillar. And that's what happened back in the day. All right, time to find out what's going on in the world of music and entertainment with your crap on celebrities.
And we start with this. Hulk Hogan is not on his deathbed, so if you thought that, you need to calm the hell down.
Was that a rumor? I never heard of that.
I guess so. So internet rumors were, sending people into a frenzy yesterday. The WWE Hall of Famer was recently hospitalized amid an ongoing neck and back issue. And so a rep for Hulk Hogan confirmed to E! News that there was no reason to panic, that this was, a routine neck surgery. His current condition is stable. He is in the hospital.
And all those old school wrestlers, they're in such bad shape. I mean,
Well, and Bubba the Love Sponge said in a live stream yesterday that he was
what did
not,
Bubba the Love Sponge say?
He said, might not gonna make it. That's what he said.
Might not gonna make it.
So he was the one who kind of started the rumor.
Yeah.
Damn radio people.
He's okay.
He's fine.
He owed him one.
Kelsey Grammer.
Bubba the Love Sponge?
Yeah. Wasn't it his wife that Hogan was banging when he dropped all the racial slurs and stuff?
Yeah, it is.
Yeah, but Bubba the Love Sponge let him.
Well,
he was the cup.
Said have a good time.
Like an arranged
well, but I'm saying is if
on video,
you're gonna let a man bang your wife, you at least get a little internet bump out of it.
Hey, you two, have a good time.
He's a love sponge.
That's true.
Cheers to Kelsey Grammer on becoming a dad again. He and his wife, Katie, they debuted a baby bump, even though they haven't said, hey, I'm pregnant yet. Everybody is saying she's pregnant. And if she is pregnant, she looks very pregnant. And so this will be their fourth baby together.
Okay, let me ask you this question. And let's be honest. Is it right for a 70-year-old man to have a baby?
Well, I was looking at his kids' ages because he has 8 kids. Okay.
Yeah.
So his oldest daughter, Spencer, is 41. He then has another daughter who is 33, and then sons who are 23, 20 respectively. And now he has 4 little kids with his new wife who age from 12, 10, and 8 to now a baby.
Okay, so...
Are you saying right as in like a moral sense to the child?
Yeah, to the child.
Because you're like, I ain't going to... All stats point to I won't see your graduation.
Right. That's exactly what I think of when I hear of Robert De Niro having a kid at 80. When I hear Pacino Pacino had kids, when he was way older. Kelsey Grammer said, because I think of me and my kids.
Yeah.
I just taught my son how to drive. I will be there for their graduations and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
There's a chance that they won't be there.
I mean, I guess
Yeah,
you're
but the kid
rolling
is
the
here,
dice, though, anyway. I mean, people die young.
Yeah.
I get what you're saying.
People die young, yeah, but that's a tragedy.
Even if they are there.
That's a tragedy.
It's wild, though. I mean, when you think about men and women, like his wife is 46, so she's an older woman having, they consider anything over 35 a geriatric pregnancy. And it's crazy to think that men can have babies into their 70s and women just can't. Like biologically, our bodies just can't take it the same way that a man can reproduce. It's wild how, sperm can still be as active in Kelsey Grammer as a 70-year-old. rather than a woman who's 70, carrying a baby to term is probably very difficult.
But also maybe not as healthy, right? Like, what are the stats? I know.
Yeah. It's higher risk of
higher risk
a lot
in
of
general with both of you.
Developmental disabilities.
Well, yeah, just a lot of
birth defects.
Yes.
Yeah, and that's the moral quandary is like, it is an increased risk as you get older when you do that. So
for sure.
Is it a selfish thing? Is it a morally?
I don't know.
Was it a
kid
baby?
gets to live now.
Where does that play?
I just feel like when you're career driven and you're a celebrity and you're wealthy, the rules don't ever apply to you. It's
Yeah, the
just
inheritance.
No, I know, Scott. Yes, you're given life. I understand that part of it. But if, without a dad that's going to be there to
But a big
help,
fat trust fund.
to help guide you through some tough years.
I think that's the argument.
Dad is geriatric.
Yeah.
When you're a teenager, dad is in his mid to late 80s.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
When you're getting the keys, you're taking away his keys.
you're
just grabbing them for yourself.
He's handing the keys to you, and you're not giving them back.
You have to buy another car. That's kind of
Best
nice.
case scenario.
Yeah. You're
Guys-
changing each other's diapers.
Yeah, I mean, it's. Yeah, I remember my dad going out and, playing catch, doing physical activities together.
Well, there's a plus minus column, right? You're also, your last name is Pacino. And he's one of the greatest actors of all time. And he may pass away when you're 12, but you're probably going to have a good shot at a Hollywood career and a pretty cush life financially. Yes, your dad may not be there to teach you to throw, but can Al Pacino throw a baseball now? Probably not.
And also, your mom will find another man.
Oh, okay. All right.
There will be
But
somebody
aside,
to raise
You can't
you.
replace your father.
To be honest, he doesn't look like he could throw a ball.
He doesn't.
He's not that
You
kind of
can't
guy.
replace your father.
Pacino? Who are we talking about?
Pacino doesn't look like an athlete.
Your father
You
says
can't
hello
replace
from the
your
grave.
father.
Maybe I'm wrong.
Guys, Sarah Jessica Parker has had a tough time with all the negative comments about her appearance. Now, and I know this firsthand because a lot of people call her a horse face.
I've never heard that before.
I have. And it sucks because
You've said that
if you
before.
think about Carrie Bradshaw.
How dare you? I've said that before.
You've called her a horse
You
head before?
1,000%. Since I've been on the show,
Your
I've referred to her
soundboard-
as a
Sarah
horse
Jessica
face.
Parker is lovely.
Your
She's
soundboard's
never-
horse sound says S-J-P. What does that mean?
Social
that's the label.
justice person.
Okay. Thank you. Well, Sarah Jessica Parker was on Call Her Daddy podcast with Alex Cooper talking about, and they're reflecting about Sex in the City back in the 90s and being a show finally for women to be able to express themselves sexually and talk about women's side of sex more openly. And it was really kind of the first show that went mainstream that was like that. And so she was reflecting on that, of course, now. And Just Like That is back for, I believe it's third season on HBO Max.
Hey, can
And
somebody... I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Go
I
ahead.
thought you're done.
No, go ahead.
Can somebody explain why that name is that name?
Call Her Daddy?
Call me daddy thing?
Yeah, I just started watching the Alex Cooper documentary on Hulu. And so she says that it came about whenever she and her friends, she went to the University of Boston. She was like a star athlete and stuff, had a really crazy story with her coach, her female coach. Very interesting.
Did they go into she actually had a partner at first in the podcast
Yes.
who wanted more money, and they go nope, and then she continued on.
Yeah, Dave Portnoy's in it, talking about how Barstool Sports latched on whenever she and her best friend started the podcast, and it was talking about sex and all these different things. And
It was a Barstool Sports thing.
they gave
that's
them
blow it up?
for two employees because they did everything, the editing, all of it. They paid them $70,000 for that contract, and then it was taking off, obviously, with that
Yeah.
bump from Barstool Sports. And then Alex Cooper was the one who stayed around. I haven't gotten to that part where the
It's an
partner
interesting
drops
story.
off.
It's a good story.
It's a great documentary. But no, the Call Her Daddy podcast comes from, she had a T-shirt on or a sweatshirt on that said Daddy. And it just was one of those fluke ideas where it just came about, call her Daddy instead of Alex.
Okay.
Yeah,
I
kind of
wasn't sure if
silly.
it was an interesting story.
But she's, you know what? She's a Valley girl in a different way, but I really like her. I mean, I'm kind of too old sometimes to be listening to it, but her interviews with different celebrities have been great. And I haven't
I'm
gotten
not
to
the
this
demo
one yet.
for it.
Yeah, you're not the demo for it.
No, but what did
Sarah Jessica
SJP, whom I refer to as SJP, because I'm a fan.
She says it was like a kick in the rubber parts. It was just like, why is this a problem? Because she would say, people would talk about her, and then when she'd walk into a room, nobody would say anything to her. And Carrie Bradshaw's character in Sex and the City is one of the most stylistic protagonists ever. And she's lovely. And it sucks that she's had this career that's been amazing, but then also people are calling her a horse face. So I feel bad for her.
There
Only
is a-
sort of bad, though,
Man,
because she's had a real
if you wanna-
successful career.
If you want to look up a brutal takedown of Sarah Jessica Parker, look up Family Guy.
Yeah.
Oh,
I know.
A horse walks into a bar, Family Guy, Sarah Jessica Parker.
I
Oh, my
know.
God.
This is what I'm talking about. She doesn't like being called this.
Do you want to hear it?
Let's do this.
Let's see if I can. Let's see if I can find it here.
I just saw a video with McFarlane, and it was interesting that it was an interview where he said he regrets a lot of the stuff. Like, now that he's older, he regrets a lot of the stuff Family Guy's done.
Like
Does he regret the paychecks?
tearing folks down?
I
Yes.
regret that part.
It's always nice
Give
to
it
apologize.
back.
after.
Yeah, give it back.
Boss walks into a bar and the bartender says, "Why the long face?" That's hilarious. Hey, fuck you.
Oh my God, you're 2 for 2 today.
Yeah,
Wasn't me.
right.
Wasn't me. Wasn't me.
Thank you, Riz.
All right, hey, listen, find it on your own.
Yes.
God.
In your defense, you think that'd be edited. It's a
I know it's Family Guy.
And that was
it's-
Sarah Jessica Parker's voice.
Oh, geez.
Anyway, it's a
That's your Carb for calling her horse.
it's a horse
face.
sitting at the bar, and then somebody goes, Miss Parker, or the. Anyway,
Again,
Look it up
opinions are
yourself.
for everyone, I guess, but I think she's beautiful.
Damn it!
Guys, Joel McHale has spent more than $10,000 on his hair transplants. Which I didn't even know. He said he would have been completely bald had he not gotten a hair transplant. He was on the We Might Be Drunk podcast with Mark Normand and Sam Morrill.
Yeah.
And he talked about how he's fully bald. At this point, he's had 4 transplants.
Joel McHale, huh?
Yes, and he has great hair. You look at him and you go, that's great hair.
You know what?
Yeah, look, when he was doing this, he was.
There's some befores and afters.
Yeah, he had the crop circle.
But he could pull off shaving his head and being a cute bald guy.
He's
No,
got,
he's
he's got a
disagree.
weird oval head.
Yeah, he would have looked like a
Michael
like a
Stipe?
Tom Brady, if
He's
he's
got yeah.
He's also
Michael
kind of built
Stipe.
his career around being like the kind of handsome guy with good hair who's got snarky attitude. For everything from Talk Soup to his character in Community.
I'm a
it'd be
fan. I like him.
I like him
like
too,
him
but
too.
I'm saying it would be weird. He needs the hair. He can't.
He needs the hair.
He can't. He talks a lot of trash. That's an immediate clapback for somebody. He had to.
You got to, you got to take that. You got to take the baldy thing away from. Oh, look at you, baldy! You got to take that away from him.
Exactly.
Well, $10,000. I think it's doing him some good. The Country Music Hall of Fame just announced that they're opening a new exhibit called Lainey Wilson Tough as Nails. It's going to trace Lainey's steps from her family's farm in Baskin, Louisiana, all the way to her rise to fame. It opens on July 18th. Will run through next June. So if you're a Lainey Wilson fan, check that out. The first trailer from the Bruce Springsteen biopic has been released, giving us a look at the Bear star Jeremy Allen White as the boss, and it looks pretty good.
Has everybody seen this? The
No.
full trailer?
No,
Deliver Me
yes.
from Nowhere. Let's listen to it.
I'm not interested.
It looks. You wouldn't even see the trailer out of curiosity.
I mean, no, if it's presented in front of me, but I'm not going to seek this out.
You should watch it just to see Jeremy Allen White as a brown-eyed
Yeah, well,
person.
I understand you may not be interested in the story, but the fact that Jeremy Allen White is playing Bruce Springsteen doesn't pique your interest at all.
Zero.
See, I'm more interested in this than I was the Bob Dylan
going.
one. And
Me
so I
too.
can't wait to see this in theaters.
Why is there no interest in it for you?
I don't know. I think I'm kind of just. Well, I don't think I really was interested in any of these.
Well, you saw the Queen one,
biopics.
right?
No, I didn't, because it's not a biopic.
Yeah, but it's still though. It's a pop culture thing.
I'm just kind of not interested. I can't tell you exactly why.
I went into it knowing it's not the full story of Queen, but I know it's a pop culture. Like
I don't
everybody's
like.
seen it.
I don't like music docs. They don't do something good for my mind. And these things are just like cutesy cash grabs at half-ass music doc biopics, and they're never. I mean, Walk the Line I thought was great.
Yeah.
That's about as far as I'll go. And you know why? It's because I didn't know or have a ton invested in Johnny Cash or in the relationship.
Ready for the
So you
dump
could just
button.
be
It's gonna be the
entertained?
third FU of the show.
I'm saying
Here-
like when I saw it.
I just think, listen, even if you don't want to see the movie, I think the trailer looks pretty interesting.
When Bruce was little, he had a hole in the floor of his bedroom.
Me and her,
The floor that's supposed to be solid, that you're supposed to be able to stand on.
people
Bruce, he didn't have that.
like in the bread.
Bruce is a repairman.
He's repairing that hole in himself.
Why is Chris Hansen voicing this crap?
That is Jeremy Strong from
Succession. Or Succession.
Succession.
Yeah, I don't want this.
And do they even
weird
look
take? I'm sure.
Looks good as hell, man.
Close.
He killed it in the trailer. I don't have to see the movie, but
So apparently he does his own singing. And he sounds so like Bruce Springsteen that Bruce Springsteen. So he says, was that me? Was that me?
But they
Come on, Jeremy.
you don't think it's going to take away that he doesn't look anything like Bruce, right?
Nobody does. Like, there's moments where he's on
he
stage,
never does.
and also I disagree.
and he does look like
I saw a
him.
bunch of people in the comments being like, he looks nothing like him. Like, he's not that far off.
Like, when he's all sweaty on stage, he
He's a
looks
guy.
just like him.
When he's
a guy with
no,
hair.
man.
I'm kind of with Scott. Like, I don't see.
I don't see it because they're totally different structure too. Like he doesn't even stand like.
Well, suspend
I don't see
disbelief.
it, and I don't
All right.
need that. I don't.
No, it's not bad.
need to
Show him
see
on
it.
stage when he's like doing the Bruce
Doing the
Springsteen
moves
with
and
all
stuff like
sweaty.
that.
And tell me that he doesn't crush it right here and look just like. Watch when he jumps up. Look when he's singing.
Well,
The way he's like jumping and contorting his
well,
face.
let's hope so.
Yeah, you
That was
hired him
good.
Let's hope
for the
he-
acting.
Yeah.
You don't just hire a lookalike to just be like, all right, this guy looks like him. Throw him in this Bruce Springsteen bio. But
You
he
also
looks
hired him
enough
because
like
he's
him that
buzzing
you
right
can
now.
like. It's fine.
You also hired him because he's buzzing right now.
Yeah.
Did Joaquin Phoenix look exactly like Johnny Cash?
Closer than this.
With his frickin' scarred lip that he wouldn't cover up and everything? No, he did not.
I don't see scars.
Joaquin,
I don't see scars.
Joaquin and Johnny didn't look any more alike than these two do.
Yeah, maybe not. I
It's
just
just
like.
people being haters, man.
Oh.
It looks good to me.
Are you
Isn't being a
invested
hater.
in
I'm
this
just
movie?
saying.
Yeah,
just
man,
asked
I
the
love
question. Is it-
Springsteen, and
will
I
it
gotta
take you
say
out of
by
the
my
movie?
fellow rat-faced boy. I mean, pull up a picture of Springsteen.
Springsteen a rat face?
A little bit.
Bruce Springsteen's beautiful.
He's a beautiful man. Well, so now rat-faced boys aren't beautiful. Good, got that out of you finally.
What are you talking about? You putting words into my mouth right
You
now?
just said
You're
it.
very
I said he was.
defensive.
I didn't say a damn word
I said-
about
I said he was kinda
rat-faced dudes.
rat-faced,
I said
and he
Bruce
said he's
Springsteen's
beautiful.
beautiful. You're having an insecure moment.
Yeah, well, welcome to hell.
What?
Very defensive.
You better back off.
I mean, I see what you're saying. Like, I mean, they did up his hair, right?
Yeah, it's a resemblance.
and that's great. It's not his looks.
Here.
It's not the actor.
See that?
I'm not
Pull-
interested. I'm not interested.
All right, well, can't tell me nothing. You guys are all Kanye Westing out right now. That's really neat. Hey, Deliver Me From Nowhere will be out October 24th. I can't wait to see it. Guys, this is hilarious. So Hugh Jackman made a quick escape from a massive crowd with the help of a couple of fans who were driving by. This is a dream to see one of your favorite celebrities trying to get away from the paparazzi and a mass of people, and then they get in your car to have a getaway. This is everybody's dream. Here's what that sounded like.
Hugh Jackman gets into random car.
Yes.
Hello, brother. Where are you going?
Bye.
Hugh Jackman carjacked somebody.
He
It's
did.
wild.
He Hugh Jackman somebody. So the 56-year-old actor was swarmed by a crowd of fans. He was leaving a matinee performance in his off-Broadway play in New York. So he performed second to last. After being swarmed, he decided to flag down just a random car who was also filming him on 6th Avenue, got in the back seat like it's a damn Uber with like his security guy, and they just took off with Hugh Jackman, which is so fun. I don't know. I think that's excellent.
This
Yeah.
one does look good. Riz and I both did the.
Which one?
Looks good. This comparison: young Bruce.
Okay.
And
Young Jeremy Allen White.
So a bandana will help. Okay, great.
yeah.
Charlie Sheen is releasing a memoir. The Book of Sheen will look at the actor's early life successes and failures.
You want to check it out on his website.
Winner.com.
That's right.
So now, nearly 8 years sober, Charlie writes candidly of every detox, retox, drug deal, and adventure along his challenging journey
winning.
to freedom. So the Book of Sheen will be out September 9th, and he is going to go on a book tour, and he might come to St. Louis, so we might get him on the show.
Winning.
Yeah. Now let's go to this. So Whiskey Riff came up with a list of 5 times that country music completely stole the show in a movie. Okay, so we're going to play a snippet of the music, and then I want to see if you guys can name the movie that this song was in, the first movie that pops
Are
out.
these
of your
only
mind.
country songs?
One is a couple of them are classic rock.
Okay, so what movie is this from?
There you go. So what movie do you think of when you think of, aside from Sweet Home Alabama, the movie with Reese Witherspoon?
Ooh, Forrest Gump.
Forrest Gump is yes, that is 100% correct.
Great.
Okay. Here comes the second one. Merle Haggard, Okie from Muskogee. What movie was this from?
Dang.
Deliverance.
No, you're right. You're kind of
Smoking the Bandit.
you're in the right zone, sort of. A more serious movie.
Robert.
This is a movie about war.
Oh, this was in Platoon?
It was in Platoon. Very good.
Okay.
What about this one, number 3?
A place where even squares can have a ball.
Is that the same?
Statler
song.
Brothers.
Not same song.
Same
Is that the
song.
same song? Okay.
Or I'm sorry.
Counting flowers on the wall. That don't bother me.
That would be Pulp Fiction.
Pulp Fiction is right. Flowers on the Wall. What about this song?
Playing solitaire till dawn with the
Deck of 51.
Cars.
Cars. Rascal Flatts doing Life at the Highway.
Terrible cover.
No, it's not.
Which we're going to have more terrible covers
You like
coming
that?
up.
I don't mean I don't like it or dislike it. It's just it's Rascal Flatts doing that song.
I don't like it.
What are you expecting? It was good for the kids.
It's good for the kids.
It was a
Yeah,
good.
it sounds like
a good
it.
version.
Fine,
It was a good
fine.
version for a Pixar movie. What do you want?
And finally, this song.
Oh, that's
Oh, Brother Martha.
Oh, brother. Soggy Bottom Boys. So that was just kind of an interesting 5 list.
I'll tell you what, I thought there was a Zach Braff movie that introduced Imogen Heap in
Garden
the
State?
frou-frou context, yes, but that soundtrack was taken over by her, and I swear that movie wouldn't have been that movie without her,
Yeah, oh, yeah.
her voice. And
So many indie bands.
Yeah, it helped propel her. It helped propel, what was the...
The Shins.
Oh, yeah, more Shin
Shins.
stuff. Like, that song had been out for some time, but yeah, that movie was all music for me.
Yeah.
Well, speaking of bad covers, because Riz, you kind of talked about this. So Ultimate Classic Rock released the worst classic rock covers. I have a list of 7 here, and I think you have some of your own.
Yeah, the worst classic rock covers.
Worst classic rock covers. So ultimateclassicrock.com put together this list. I just want to kind of go around the horn and think and see what you think. So let's do number 7.
Number 7, okay.
Limp
So this
Bizkit
is-
covering The Who.
Yeah.
My love is vengeance that's never free.
This is always on the list of bad cover songs.
I know.
And it's not bad. I don't think it's bad.
Nobody likes to speak and spell stuff.
I don't know, I kind of do.
This is around the same time that like Hurt with Johnny Cash came out, right? And so I felt like we were seeing things kind of slow down and get weird with covers in like the mid 2000s.
Oh, you think so? I
Yeah.
thought Johnny Cash came out way earlier, like 97. 98, something like that.
No.
Was it really?
was not, it was like 2000, 2001.
What, like 4 or 5 months before he passed, right?
Right.
Oh, man,
I don't know. I don't
think
love
that
the
was
Behind
earlier.
Blue Eyes cover by Limp Bizkit.
Johnny Cash Hurt came out 2002.
2002. Okay.
Get out of here.
What about this? When Paris Hilton did a little Rod Stewart, number 6.
I don't know this one.
Yeah, does anyone have any emotions about this?
Yeah. Don't like that.
Don't like that. What about Sugar Ray doing Joe Jackson? I didn't realize they did this, but this is so Sugar Ray because they do covers even still when they're out touring. And
I never heard this one
I
either.
hadn't either.
Okay.
Is she really going out with him? Is she really gonna take him home?
Is this Joe Jackson?
Joe Jackson.
Really going out with him? 'Cause if my eyes don't deceive me, the sun
Like I can hear this in American Pie.
Yeah, it's not
You
bad.
know, it's not terrible.
Or one of the Shrek movies.
Yeah, or the Shrek movies.
Yeah.
Can't you hear that?
Here's number 4. Don McLean, Madonna doing Don
Oh
McLean.
man, I remember when this came out.
Me too.
This was universally, everybody went, yee, yikes. Which, it's fine.
No, it's not. It's really not, though.
I don't think it's as bad as everybody said it was.
Okay.
I mean, this was.
It's okay if you're in a tanning bed at a salon. It's fine.
That's where you
but
are
that's the
hearing it.
only place it should be played.
I'm not putting it on. I mean, I'm not playing it in the car.
But it's in the end credits of like Austin Powers 7 or whatever, you know?
It's not as offensive as it was made out to be.
Everything has its place.
What about this?
In the garbage? So
And
you
it
say?
probably belongs in the
what is that
credits of an
instrument
Austin
behind
Powers
her?
movie.
I'm not a music person. You guys are.
What, that?
What's like?
Owl City sneaks in there.
Oh.
Yeah, whatever that is sucks. I'm sorry, that sucks. Like
The little kid
it's like
toy.
this heartfelt American Saga song that Don McLean wrote, and it's like.
Yeah, it's like glitter.
It's just like I'm not good.
What about Cyndi Lauper covering What's Going On?
I don't know this song.
I don't like
I
it.
don't know it either.
You know the real version, though.
No, I don't.
The Marvin Gaye version?
Oh,
What's going on?
Oh, okay. See, I didn't
Really?
recognize that.
Right.
I wouldn't have either unless I knew.
Oh, okay. What's wrong with that one? Are people just complaining because they're comparing it like it's their take. It's a different song. Let these things breathe on their own.
Yeah.
A little bit of co-opting going on there too.
What you mean?
Marvin Gaye didn't quite get the message out. Let's let the white woman Cyndi Lauper get it out there. I don't know. It's just a weird song pick to me. I think that's probably why people don't like it too.
Why?
Well, it's kind of an anthem for black people.
Explain.
Well, brother, there are so many of you dying is the first lyric in the song, where he's kind of singing to the black community, and this probably was weird to have a pop synth version come out with the whitest lady ever on the planet.
The whitest lady ever. I disagree. I think Cyndi Lauper is an advocate for so many things, like
You're
left
right,
of center.
man.
Girls just do want to have fundamental rights.
Whoa.
You think?
You know?
Okay, next song.
All right, next
Who cares?
song.
He's just so dismissive.
Here is U2 covering Credence, and this is bad.
Okay.
Some folks are born made to wave a flag. Yeah, the red, white, and blue. Where the band plays
See, this sounds like, all right, we have a half hour in the studio to do this. Let's go.
It's like they took a filter, like, how can we make this U2? And they just splurged their U2 all over Credence.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what every band does.
Right, and it
Every
doesn't
band
work sometimes. And
Has
so
their
this
sound and says, "Let's do our version of this song." I just don't. I don't know, man. Music is just music. You put it out there, and sometimes these things can give life to the original writer.
Oh, for sure.
And sometimes they're horrendous.
Yeah, but I
It
mean,
can go
like
either
that's
way.
Was
that's
not
what
good.
that's what art is about. Is you throw it out there, and
And it's also for me to say if I like it or not.
it has its place somewhere.
It is
And it's for me to
subjective.
give my opinion, and that's what I do.
Well, then finally, Dancing in the Street. Mick Jagger, David Bowie doing Martha and the Vandellas from 1964. Here it is, which is the video that everybody takes the music out and
love
has
that.
them just silently dancing, and I love that.
Yeah, it's a weird video.
It's so fun. It's fine.
I think it's both of their best songs.
Who is that?
That's Mick
It's
Jagger.
Mick Jagger and David Bowie.
Oh, that was pretty cool.
It's my favorite one.
That's
What
the
about
one
yours?
that I know.
You had some extras over there.
All
What do you
right,
have?
so I got, anybody ever hear of Pat Boone doing Enter Sandman?
Pat Boone, Debbie Boone.
Sleep with one eye open.
Yeah, this is awesome.
Your pillow tight. Exit light.
This is real.
Enter night. Take my hand. We're off to never, never.
Yeah, that's real. That's Pat Boone
No way.
All right, that's a win.
Dude, that's awesome.
doing Enter Sandman.
That's awesome.
There is
Often
okay. There's a
never,
this is
never
a this is a classic one.
Picture yourself in a boat on a river
Oh my.
with tangerine trees and marmalade skies.
Do you know who this is.
Somebody calls you, you answer quite slowly. A girl with kaleidoscope eyes. Cellophane flowers.
You don't know who this is yet?
Green, towering over your head. Look for the girl with a song of
William
her
Shatner.
eyes.
Yeah. I was
And
like,
she's gone.
didn't he do Rocket Man too?
Yeah. So William Shatner doing Lucy in the Sky with Diamonds.
For the most
Very
part,
cool.
I love his versions of everything. Almost every time I hear it, I go, yeah,
Okay, but here's the thing,
I
though.
like this.
It's not good, but is it not good on purpose?
I'm not sure that it's good or not good on purpose. It is what it is, very much so on purpose. Does that make sense? I don't think it's shooting to be good. I think it's shooting to be wacky and whatever his
Whatever.
What is the descriptor that you use for his whole thing? His whole persona.
So, halting.
It's Shatner. I don't know, man.
It's a style of his own.
Didn't he do that record with like Ben Folds and a couple other
Yeah.
people? And
Oh,
it was
yeah.
pretty dope.
All right, so here is Britney Spears.
And I try, and I try, and I try.
This is when all like those teen pop stars sounded like they were hyperventilating. You're out of breath, Brittany.
And I think it's cool she had the guy that can do the little squeaky hand thing in the background.
You ever hear? And this is from 2002. Celine Dion doing "You Shook Me All Night Long."
Oh no! Let's hear that.
Yeah, this is a live track. This is always on the list of bad covers.
It's not that bad.
No, that's not bad at all.
It's just different for her.
This is Anastasia.
Who's Anastasia?
This is Celine here.
It's just different.
It's not bad.
It's the same arrangement. They're just singing the song.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're even using the cowbell and everything.
Avril Lavigne doing "Imagine."
Mm-hmm.
Okay, try this one here. It's not bad either.
It isn't hard to do. Nothing to kill or die.
It's not bad.
It's whatever.
No religion to.
Okay, well,
I don't mind it.
I don't mind it.
Also,
That's
her
all I
show
got.
last week looked awesome.
Avril Lavigne.
Yeah, she was in town.
I tried to find Kids Bop kids doing "Smells Like Teen Spirit,"
Okay, some of those, I will say,
but I could not. I literally could not find it on YouTube.
those may not have a place. That may be the exception to the rule.
That,
have
I
you
think,
heard the
was
Blink 182 one? It's not even a kid. It's
Oh,
like
so yeah, I've
some
heard
weird, creepy old dude
Oh, really?
singing very poorly, and then a couple kids here. Is
it
one-
Mark Hoppus?
No, this is the Kids
No.
Bop Kids one.
It's
"Smells
like-
Like Teen Spirit" is a sanitized, cheery kids version of Kurt Cobain's angst anthem. Is as unsettling as it is unintentional comedy.
It's like they
Couldn't
had.
find it.
It's like they had some guy in the Audible offices there to read a Danielle Steele novel, and they said, "Hey, here's some lyrics and a melody. We know you can't sing or anything, but we paid you for the half hour, so if you could just sing this Kids Bop Blink 182 song," and then they put it on that record.
And I don't know if this is good, but someone just sent this over. And Mark Tremonti from Creed, I guess he covered a Frank Sinatra song.
Oh, but he does. He has a whole crooners record.
Oh, really? So it's actually probably well done. then.
It's actually well done.
like Danzig
Mark
doing
Tremonti
Elvis.
has a whole crooners record. It's pretty
That's
good.
awesome.
All right, let's finish up.
Wait, you want to do this Blink 182 Kids Bop?
Sure.
I mean, it is.
What did they change the "Smells Like Teen Spirit" lyrics? Load up on
couldn't
guns
find
and
it.
bring your friend. Like what?
Load
are they?
up on gums.
Here, fast forward a little bit.
Okay.
Prepare to fast forward.
Preparing.
You have it on mute.
Oh.
I know you'll be at my show, watching,
It's not even Kids Bop.
It's drunk guy at a bar.
say
Listen.
It's unsettling. All right, you want
That's good.
That one may not have a place.
It's unsettling. All right.
You know what I mean? Like
Kind
this
of sounds like Burl Ives.
It does.
Doesn't it?
Oh, Steve.
A little bitty tear let me down.
All right, birthdays.
Celebrities celebrating a birthday today. Atticus Schaefer, that's Brick on the middle, is 27. Paul Dano is 41. Macklemore is 42. Zoe Saldana is 47. Dirk Nowitzki, one of the greatest NBA power forwards of all time, is 47. Ryan Hurst is 49. Jean Desjardins, the French actor who won Best Actor Oscar for The Artist, is 53. Brian Head Welch is 55. Mia Sara, Ferris's girlfriend Sloane, on Ferris Bueller's Day Off. How old do you think she is?
She's in her 50s.
56.
She's 58. Paula Abdul, 63. Mark DeBarge from
El DeBarge.
DeBarge is 66. Kathleen Turner, that's Joan Wilder on Romancing the Stone. Also, she played the voice of Jessica Rabbit in Who Framed Roger Rabbit. Kathleen Turner is a sexy 71. Ann Wilson from Heart is 75. And Claire Huxtable herself. Felicia's first husband was Victor Willis, the original cop from The Village People, by the way. A lot of people don't know that. But Felicia Rashad is 77 years old today.
All right, today's porno birthday, which is being brought to you by Patricia's What Fun or Fantasy Meet, is Stacey Lords. And today's birthday girl's been in 71 fine films, including Bimbo Bowlers from Boston, Blame It on the Heat, Breaststroke 3, The Girl with the Blue Jeans, Off.
Stacey Lords?
Stacey Lords.
Is this Tracy's sister?
I have no idea. Kisses Don't Lie, The Love Button, What's Love Got to Do with It, and Who Could Forget a Role? In 1989's Welcome to the House of Fur Pie. Stacey Lords is 56 years old. That's porno birthday. Those are your crappy birthdays, and that was your crap on celebrities. All right, Scott, is Dr. Hawatmeh here?
Yeah, he's here.
There's a house
So
for
can we?
Yes.
Okay.
Bring him on in.
Alrighty.
Joining us in studio, I feel like it's our yearly checkup with Dr. Salim Hawatmeh from South County Urological. And we're going to talk about men's health because you know what? June is Men's Health Awareness Month.
I saved my banana for you today.
It's always great to be here with
eat
you
it
guys.
while you're here.
As always, happy birthday, Riz.
Oh, thanks, buddy.
Yeah.
He sees enough bananas. Okay?
I just thought it was
Moon.
appropriate.
Way too many.
Way too many bananas.
Hold on to it.
Good.
But yes, June is Men's Health Awareness Month. And why are men so bad about talking about their health, especially, down there?
Yes, we see that all the time. I frequently make the comment to my staff that we prefer when the men actually come in with their significant others because they listen much more than the man, and they remember everything.
Right.
But men are actually reluctant to come into the doctor.
For not just, erectile issues or, urological issues, but any issue.
Anything. It's really, I don't understand it.
So you prefer when a guy comes with his wife or girlfriend because she'll be the one that is taking notes.
Absolutely. Yes.
We just want to get the hell out of there.
That's right.
And that's the whole thing. We need to we need to stop that.
Right.
Like
Yeah.
it's important.
Yes.
What's the one thing you wish every man knew about urology?
Well, just to be aware of their health, right? If they have any urinary issues, that's not normal, and to seek help. But while we're talking about Men's Health Month, June, we have to talk about prostate cancer,
Yes.
prostate cancer
Yes.
screening. That's very important. So that's one thing that's been in the news a lot lately, and we need to talk about screening.
Well, let's get down to the basics though. What does the prostate even do?
Yeah, the prostate makes semen. That's it. It just sits at the base of the bladder. The urine actually runs through it. So a lot of men with enlarged prostates, for example, have urinary symptoms.
Mm-hmm.
But the dangerous part of the prostate is it can turn into cancer. And it's a very common cancer.
Right.
1 in 8 men in their lifetime will be diagnosed with prostate cancer.
And why can it cause so much trouble as men age?
Well, it enlarges. After about age 40, the prostate starts to enlarge. And doesn't necessarily mean anything bad. It's just, as long as it's not cancer.
It's a part of life almost.
Almost part of life. Once it enlarges, it's like a clamp on a garden hose, basically. It restricts the flow of urine. So men can have symptoms, weak stream, straining to urinate, getting up at night, having urgency, and so forth.
I have a question. You know, for like mammograms and stuff, like women can like self-diagnose. We can like smush on our own boobs, and if we can feel like a lump, we go in and we talk to our doctor. Is there a way for men to mush their prostate themselves, or do they have to go to a professional?
Well,
like, is there a self-exam?
I guess they can.
Well, that's what I mean. Like,
There's a lot of jokes that can be made here. I'll leave that to you guys. But no, there's not a way. No.
Okay.
And
That's good. That's why it's so important to go to see Dr. Hawatmeh,
Right.
because you can't do what like women can do, which is smush our boobs.
I'll check mine right now.
Now, the screening test for prostate cancer is a simple blood test. It's called a PSA.
Now it is.
Now it is.
And the PSA test is fairly newer way of checking to see if you're having prostate.
Well, it's been around now for a while, but the dreaded finger exam, which no one likes,
ain't no big deal.
That's fallen by the wayside.
And that's what I mean. So the finger up the tuchus, that was the way. Like
Right.
Can you still get that if you want it?
Yes.
When you turn a certain age like that, was
Yeah.
and
Something
that
for
was the
everybody.
thing. And that was the thing that was preventing guys from going to the doctor was that that's coming. You get to be
Sure.
45, 50 years old, when you go to the doctor, that's coming.
Yeah, you ever have somebody come in for the first checkup, if you will, and they shake your hand, they go, nah, never mind, because your hand's too big?
I've had a lot of jokes about that where, the patient will say, well, I'm going to get worried if I feel two hands on my shoulders, stuff like that.
Scott Rizzuto likes that one. I've heard him use that one, I think.
No, but what I'm saying is the guys would not go to the doctor knowing that is what is going to be part of the exam.
Right.
Now, it's with blood tests that you don't have to do that anymore.
You don't have to necessarily. If you see a urologist at some point, he'll do a baseline. It's called a DRE, digital rectal exam. But it's not necessary every single time.
What does a prostate feel like?
Great
That's a good question. That's a good question. It's very, it should be smooth. There should be no nodules, almost a little bit, to use a, word squishy almost.
Okay.
You don't want to feel anything abnormal. And you're looking for, when you do a DRE, you can't feel the whole prostate, but you can get a general idea of the size of the prostate.
Got it.
We talking clementine orange? We talking...
How big is a prostate?
The average size, normal prostate, like 30 to 40 grams. So maybe about the size of a chestnut. Walnut is typically what's used.
All right. So what are the early warning signs of prostate issues? And how do men know when to see a doctor?
Yeah, really any change from your baseline urination. If you got a weak stream, certainly if you see blood in your urine, that's a red flag. But any urinary symptom, really, getting up too many times at night, straining, urgency. A lot of guys will know exactly where every single bathroom is, wherever they go out. These kind of things.
So we're really having to concentrate on how we go to the bathroom.
Correct.
Like that's the first thing. Like if you notice something like something's off here,
right? Yeah, and obviously self exams. We recommend that every man do a testicular self exam once a month. Testicular cancer is not as common as prostate cancer. It's about 1 in every 250 men will get it. Right. And it's got a young age range, between 20 and 40. So a lot of your listeners are in that group.
Yeah.
What are they feeling for?
Any lump, bump, anything abnormal. And most of the things you'll feel are benign. So I get a lot of guys that come in, they're freaking out, and it's usually just a benign cyst, something like this.
That was me. That
That's
was me. I came in and I was like, yo.
Something's wrong.
Was ist das? What is this?
Yeah.
And, it's nice to just go to a pro and have them say, okay, we know exactly what this is. It's no big deal. Wait it out. So on and so forth.
Yeah.
But you go in, man. Like, don't be a fool. If you got anything going on that's different and out of the ordinary down there, like, what are you doing? You're just gambling. If you just let it go and think it's going to disappear, go talk to the pro.
Well, let's say you do get diagnosed with prostate cancer, tell me the steps.
Yeah,
next.
so to diagnose it, you have to have a prostate biopsy. And many of those are done in the office. They can be done under anesthesia in the hospital. Before we get to a prostate biopsy, however, we have some other steps. Sometimes before we decide, we'll get an MRI of the prostate. We can get other blood tests of the prostate to give us more information about the prostate, such as an ISO-PSA, it's called, or a 4K score or whatnot. And then the biopsy takes about 10, 15 minutes. And then once you get the biopsy, if it's cancer, there's multiple different kinds of cancer. There's what we consider low risk, moderate risk, high risk. And depending on what you have and your age, your other medical problems, we'll recommend one treatment or the other. Now, many times, especially in the last few years, it's become more popular to do what's called active surveillance. So many men don't even need to be treated. We just watch the PSA, keep an eye out, periodic MRI, another biopsy, maybe 2 years, 3 years later. And I've got guys we're watching for years, and the cancer's not done anything.
So PSA score. So it's what's it on a scale of?
Well, PSA is it's an age specific range. So, for example,
so I'm going to be 47. So.
Yeah, so I'd like to see your PSA 2.5 or less.
Okay.
You know, but it depends on age. You know, if you're 80 years old, we'll let you get up to a PSA of 10. But there's a whole scale in between, ranging from 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. It just depends on age.
Right. Okay, so you got the active surveillance. What about your prostate being removed? What level is that?
Yeah, common operation. We do that for younger guys with a longer life expectancy and done robotically. You know, I do a lot of those every year with a machine called the Da Vinci robot, a minimally invasive way to do the surgery, and usually in the hospital for one night. But, you know, that's got an excellent cure, but can have some potential side effects, such as leaking urine or incontinence or problems with erections.
Right.
You know, and the erection issue, we have multiple different techniques to preserve the nerves for erections, but even with a perfect nerve sparing, for example, guys can have issues afterwards. And it really depends how they are going into surgery. You know, if you're a young guy, you've got great erections, you don't use Viagra, Cialis, any of these things, and you do a nice nerve spare, you've got a very high chance of keeping your erections.
Right.
Guys with diabetes, a little overweight, other medical issues, they're using Cialis, Viagra going into surgery, they're going to have some problems. But we can get those back. You know, when I was at Mayo Clinic, one of my mentors, he used to say the goals of surgery are life, liberty, pursuit of happiness, right? So life, cure of cancer.
Yeah.
Liberty, free of pads, so you're not leaking.
Yeah.
And pursuit of happiness, obviously the erections.
Yes.
So I always like that saying.
Pretty brilliant.
Depends on where they're happening.
Yeah, exactly. Okay, so as long as it's caught early, and when should guys start checking their PSA levels? When should we be starting to get serious about doing this, and how often should we be getting it done?
Normally, there's a lot of controversy with PSA screening, but as a urologist, I'd say starting at age 50 for all men. Unless you're African American, you should start at age 40 because you have double the risk, so 1 in 4. And then also anyone with a family history should really start at age 40.
And then how often?
What are the controversies? Why the controversy?
Well, because a few years ago, one of the U.S. Preventative Task Force Services came out with a recommendation against PSA, saying that it was not useful at all. And we saw an increase in metastatic disease and so forth. But it depends on what the age, and so some guidelines will say start at age 55. Other guidelines say, well, you should stop also after age 70. But in my opinion, if you just stop after 70 on everybody, you're going to get more metastatic disease, and that's what we're seeing.
Right.
So, and it doesn't have to be done every year. In a lot of these organizations, societies will say, well, you can do PSA every 2 years. But as a urologist, I would say do it yearly.
Yeah, I mean, if you're going for blood work every year, might as well just get it done, right?
Throw it in there.
Correct.
What can affect a PSA level besides cancer?
That's a good question. So just an enlarged prostate, some men just have a higher baseline PSA. And as long as it's not cancer, it's nothing to worry about.
What could it be enlarged from? Diet?
Age.
Okay, I see.
Yeah, age. And then other things, low-grade infections, prostatitis. Guys that ride bikes all the time, frequent bike riders, I see that. They ride their bike. We recheck the PSA a week later, and it's fine. So there are benign conditions. Okay. Absolutely.
And stress as well? I was told stress.
Stress, not so much. I always tell guys, if there's any question, just abstain from doing anything real strenuous, like lifting, sexual activity, all that for like 3 days, and bike riding for 3 days before checking a PSA.
Yeah. I rode a bike recently, and it's hard on the gooch. That's for sure.
My husband had to get an entirely new motorcycle seat because it was straining his balls so much.
Yeah, and that can cause some numbness too.
Yeah.
And I see guys with erection issues for that.
Deborah has a question. She says her son is 39 and is dribbling. Is this a sign of prostate trouble? She says, I'm worried.
Not necessarily.
Okay.
It could be what's called a post-void dribble, which is completely normal. And the solution would be real simple to do, just 5 Kegel exercises after you're done urinating.
Okay. Let's all do Kegel exercises right now.
How about the mother knowing
that?
Yeah, like
How about mom knowing that about her 39-year-old son?
I love it.
Well, he comes back to the table in a restaurant with pea dots on his pants. It's kind of hard not to know.
Good
We've all
mom,
been
Dad.
there.
Good mom.
That's most likely what it is. Now, having said that, there could be some scar tissue, strictures, whatnot. He should be checked out.
Okay, and he's 39, so that's age appropriate, I think.
Yeah, it's definitely age appropriate.
Does her son have a Prince Albert?
Well, let's talk about which is not recommended, right? Prince Alberts are not recommended.
I've seen those. I've had to repair a few.
Oh, my
Oh,
Lord.
no.
Wowie.
Yes.
Wow.
That's okay. That's the barbell at the very tip, right?
Well, it's a piercing that goes through
the urethra?
through the urethra, through the meatus, so the very distal-most part.
So what could go wrong?
Well, when you take it out, now you've got another hole there. So when you're urinating, you got two streams. You got one shooting
my
down
God.
and
Yeah,
one shooting straight.
Duality.
My buddy had that. and he
Never
took it
crossed
out.
the stream.
So
We learned that in Ghostbusters.
He took it out, and he has to hold the
That's
second
right.
one.
Yeah. So I've done a couple of them where I've repaired. It's more of a kind of a plastic surgical type of operation where you're closing that defect.
It's a little tiny cork.
So that it's basically that's the concept. Yes.
Just hammered in.
618 asking, my grandpa's on his third prostate cancer. This third time came up even though he had his prostate removed years ago. His PSA spiked to 103, and we have found cancer in the bones, which the oncologist said is prostate cancer. Is this because the cancer lays dormant, or how does this happen?
Yeah, even when you remove the prostate or have it treated with radiation or whatnot, there's always a chance of it coming back, right? That's why even when you have surgery, we always monitor your PSA. And unfortunately, he's had a recurrence after surgery. He must have had an aggressive form of prostate cancer. So he can still be treated with hormones, chemotherapy, there's immunotherapy. So that whole field of urology for metastatic disease has really changed in the last decade.
Right. Okay, TRT, testosterone replacement therapy, and PSA.
Right.
I know when you're going for testosterone treatments, they monitor, or they're supposed to be monitoring your PSA levels at the same time. Could talk about the correlation between those two things.
Yeah, so in the past, there was the idea that testosterone replacement would cause prostate cancer, would cause your PSA to go up, and that's not true. But you should have your PSA monitored. A lot of these, men's clinics will monitor your PSA every 6 months. I think that's fine, as long as you're doing that, even yearly for most people. So, yes, it should be checked. It should be monitored, absolutely.
Okay.
And if there's a question of PSA, and I get this frequently from a lot of these clinics where they'll send someone to me to say, well, his PSA is so-and-so. We need to make sure he doesn't have prostate cancer before we prescribe testosterone. And we do that, and then they're fine.
Okay.
Somebody checking in says, Corey, how often do you refer patients to pelvic physical therapy?
Not a ton. We probably should do more, especially young women with urination issues, because it works. Pelvic floor rehab.
Oh, yeah.
It definitely works. I'd recommend it.
I have a question that may seem like a joke, but it is something that I'm sure a lot of listeners are wanting to ask. And this is something that came from my younger years. I was probably 22, 23, and our manager at the time, who was in his 40s at the time, late 40s, said this, and it stuck with me, as it did a lot of men. Said, hey, man, when you get into your 40s, you use it or you lose it. And what he said after that gave us nightmares. And he said, dude, when you get in your late 40s, it starts shrinking. He's like, you're going to lose an inch or so if you're not using it all the time. And, dude, that has stuck with me.
Does it shrivel up?
So the whole joke of use it or lose it, it's got to come from something, right? Where there's smoke, there's fire. So please tell me that do you lose length in the banana if you're not using it as you age?
Yes, that's true.
That is true.
Oh, my Lord, high alert.
Use it or lose it. Oh, God.
Well, the thing is, guys that have had prostate cancer, that have their prostates removed, for example, they always complain that they lose length and girth because they're not getting regular erections. So, yes, it is healthy to continue to maintain erections. Definitely use
It's
it.
working out.
Because
it's
you
like
will
going to the gym.
If you don't get regular erections and nighttime erections, for example, you will lose length and girth with time.
But you're not talking about sex. You're just talking about erections.
That's
so
right.
this could
About
be
length.
joeing or consensual sex.
Yeah. Does it work the other way? If you drain it, you can gain it?
Good question. No bad questions.
Good question.
Because I will increase productivity if I need to.
Why do you let me know about that?
So shrinkage.
Your case study.
So shrinkage. Well, let's talk about shrinkage for a second. You know, it is real. It's not just a sitcom joke. You know.
I have already had this question written down for him.
Go ahead.
You see a lot of bananas, right? So I know it's anecdotal, but you're an expert. What is the actual percentage of growers versus showers?
Good question.
I would say most guys are growers, not showers.
Thank you.
Most. Yeah, absolutely.
All right.
Yeah.
Let's go to Corey on line one.
First.
Corey, you're on with Dr. Hawatmeh. What's going on?
Oh, hey, doctor. How's it going?
Very good.
Happy birthday, Riz.
Thanks, buddy.
I got a question about testicular cancer. Back when I was 21 years old, I had 3 forms of cancer on my right testicle. Had a right orchiectomy performed, a lymph node dissection performed, was put in the clear, did not have to go through radiation or chemotherapy. Now I'm 46. I've done yearly checkups on alpha beta proteins and done physical checks every year. Every now and then I would feel an abnormality on my left testicle, and the doctor says I've had ultrasounds done on it also. He says there's nothing there. I'm just curious, do I have to worry about the left one and the cancer returning on that testicle?
That's a great question. I mean, you're 20 plus years out from everything you went through. And, you know, testicular cancer in general has a very high cure rate, as evidenced here. But, yeah, as long as there's nothing there and you've had ultrasounds, then there's nothing to worry about. And you're doing the right thing. I would do at least a monthly check. And if you do feel something abnormal, then that's a red flag. You need to have another ultrasound or be seen.
Yeah, that's kind of one of the things I wanted to put out there to every fella out there. You know, be sure you're checking your testicles. If you feel an abnormality, you need to have it checked out because, like I said, I had 3 forms of cancer. 2 were benign and 1 was malignant. And this tumor had hair follicles and teeth in it, which was kind of scary because I'm a guy.
It's called a teratoma.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah, I'm a guy and I was pregnant.
It's called Terry.
A
What is it?
teratoma.
Well,
Did you swallow a
it's
twin?
a form of testicular cancer called teratoma. And women get those on their ovaries, too.
Yeah.
You know, ovarian teratoma.
Teeth and hair.
Teeth and hair.
That's an alien, man.
What?
Well, our testicles and ovaries are the same, right? And we divide out. Like when we're being created in the womb and things are growing, you either drop your testicles or you create your ovaries.
Is that a twin that you just
Thank
kicked?
you, Corey, by the way.
Your twin.
You kicked a twin's ass
That's right.
in development?
Drop your testicles.
I think that was the funny line in that. Remember that movie, My Big Fat Greek Wedding, where she said the twin was growing?
Yes.
I think it was a teratoma. That's what she was referring to.
Real quick about you can talk about ED. How common is ED really?
Extremely common.
Okay,
I mean,
so-
really, half of guys at some point will have experienced it. Really, all ages. And I see many men for that issue. A lot of guys will come to the office for that.
Yeah.
But not for prostate cancer screening. But very common, and we definitely have many treatment options these days.
What's the most what's the most common treatment for that?
And the most common we start with any of the oral medications.
Right. Cialis,
and they're all generic now. They used to be extremely expensive. Viagra, Cialis.
Is it Tadalafil? Was it? What's the
Tadalafil, generic Cialis. And they're a lot cheaper now, and many men are on those.
Okay, but what about people that take that stuff, Viagra, Cialis, recreationally? Is there dangers when it comes to that?
Well, other than the side effects, it can create sort of a psychological kind of crutch, almost. But you know, a lot of guys have anxiety or whatnot, and they just want to perform and so forth. So why not?
But there's no chemical crutch there.
Well, no. It's a chemical. It's increasing, blood flow to the penis. You get some side effects. Flushing feeling in your face, maybe a little headache.
High fives.
High fives.
I mean, I would assume that there would be like a dependency fear there.
There can be. I've heard that, even though
that's psychological.
A guy might not need it.
It's not like a chemical.
It's a psychological, because a lot of it's in your head too. Like
right.
If you can't perform one time, you have issues. It's in your head. You're thinking about it. You take this. You've got knowing, you're going to be fine. So
Gotcha.
A lot of guys will take it on the regular basis. Yeah, and there's actually a form of generic Cialis you can take daily, 5 milligrams, and so you're always sort of
Microdosing.
You're microdosing. You're always kind of ready. And a lot of guys will tell me they walk around with a little bit of an erection too, which is like all the time.
Is that 500?
Wait, that's an option?
Is that a good thing or a bad thing?
Yeah, can you walk me through, like, I don't have a penis. So, like, you take the Cialis or the Viagra, and what happened? Like, within 30 minutes, you start to get, like, a tingle? Like, what happens?
Just walking around with a
Or
semi?
you get hornier?
You feel, not hornier, but you feel more engorgement. You feel what we call tumescence. You feel the blood supply.
Man,
so,
can you write me a script?
That sounds pretty cool.
Rafe's going to start microdosing.
That's the first thing that's made it interesting.
I'm ready
to
to microdose, dude.
No
I'm going to be walking around the YMCA with a whole new sense of confidence.
I'm looking for some compliments, to be honest.
I've got a very good friend of mine who I've got on testosterone and it's a low dose, tadalafil, generic Cialis, and he's just
keep that guy away.
Always,
he's just stoked.
He's just John Hamm.
Always wants sex.
He's humping the trees in the park. He's got all kinds of stuff going on.
Right.
Can cycling cause ED?
Absolutely, but a lot of cycling. I mean, we're talking guys that ride 20, 30 miles every day.
Right.
If you're doing it occasionally, you're going to be fine.
It's brutal.
And the key really to get that special bike seat. You want that cut out where you're just resting on your
balls hang through.
Exactly.
I'm surprised there isn't one of those. Like, why isn't there a dip seat?
Well, on these fancy road
get
bikes, though, that seat doesn't really fit or go
I'd be afraid of
necessarily.
getting caught in the gears, to be honest.
But guys that ride like Peloton, for example, or for recreation, whatnot, I would highly recommend the seat.
Let's go to Anthony on line 2. Anthony, you're on with Dr. Hawatmeh.
Yeah, Dr. Hawatmeh, I just wanted to say thank you after we found out that my fourth child with my third baby mama, I came and saw.
You're breaking up. Your phone stinks. Anthony, say it one more shot. Say it again. We couldn't hear a damn thing you said.
Switch to your phone.
See you later,
Take out my Bluetooth. Okay.
I told you.
God. Oh, God, he's gone.
All
He
right,
wanted to
well.
thank you for something. What did he say he was thanking
He
you?
said he wanted to thank, after his fourth child, you did the procedure, and he's fixed now, and I guess it went very, very good, and he had a great experience.
Hey,
so
I'm
thank
on
you.
deck.
Great to hear.
I think I'm going to do it this year.
Yeah.
You ready?
Let's go.
You ready to clip?
And
ready
surprise,
to clip me?
Rafe, we're doing it right now.
Right now.
You know what? I would do it. I don't care.
Here you go.
You clip me right now.
It was easy, man. I did mine on the radio. It was a landmark broadcast.
It was actually, yeah.
I think it's time. It's time for me
I still get
to,
people commenting about that all the time.
Yeah, it was. I tell you what, my daughter's going to be 14, so we did it 14 years ago.
Wow.
It's wild.
I think it's the year of clipping and microdosing for me, my man.
There you go. Now we offer a new thing. We do this nitrous gas.
Say less, bruh.
Laughing gas. We don't do it on everybody.
You don't need it.
I don't want to be like
He's funny
laughing too
enough.
hard while you're clipping down there. That's
But
a lot
if you have any anxiety or fear of needles, or want it to go smoothly, and
Well, I want it to go smoothly for sure.
a lot of people have had laughing gas at the dentist, and you can drive afterwards. which is
Rough me up
great.
down there, Dr. Hawatmeh. Hey, no gas needed, brother. Get in there. Let's go
No,
for it.
there's no clipping. He used
I've done it.
Put
laser.
it in four-wheel drive, my man.
I've done it twice. You don't need no laughing gas. Come on.
I don't know. I'll
Yeah, I
take
just
it.
took half a Xanax. I was good.
Right.
Hey, if
you
it's
did?
available.
What a wuss.
Are you talking while you're burning things up down there? Or like,
Absolutely.
what's that vibe?
Oh, we were.
Yeah.
I was on the radio.
Hey, man.
He was talking.
Oh, it's definitely going to be
We
fun.
also like when the wives come in to that also.
Oh, I remember my wife was over your shoulder.
Yeah. So
Be careful.
we have a whole conversation.
Only
The
takes
guys
3
are
minutes.
they're tense, they're a
Sure.
little afraid, but we have a great conversation with the
Do you,
wife.
in my mind, what I imagine is like a man laid out on a table, and then there's a laser slowly coming up. to
No,
his
like
ball
a
sack.
James Bond
Yeah.
villain.
Yeah.
Is that what it's like?
Can you do it like that if I want it? There's no laser.
We want the Bond treatment.
Sure, we can pretend.
I'll never talk, Dr. Hawatmeh.
Let's go to
Tell us where the briefcase is.
Mike. You got a question for the doctor?
Yes. I have heard that using a penis ring during sex can lead to long-term damage. Is that correct?
Yeah, you don't want to leave it on very long. If you're going to
Thank you,
use it,
Mike.
I'd say like 30 minutes or less. But many men with ED will use the ring. It's called a constriction ring at the base. Yes. But you don't want to leave it on long. I've seen also guys put their penises in various foreign objects and so forth, and we got to use saws and things to get them off. So that's
Lord.
dangerous.
All right, so here's footage of.
What's the craziest foreign object you've
Here's
ever
footage
seen?
of Dr. Hawatmeh doing Riz's.
This is Rafe's treatment that's going to be
This is
coming
me.
up. Here we go. Yeah.
I'll never tell you where I put the microdose.
You look like Sean
from
Connery.
the movie Goldfinger.
Yeah.
That's great.
Okay, here's a
All
question.
right, I'll wear a tux that day.
Yeah, let's do it. Let's role play.
The 618. So this person says, I have a coworker who won't shut up about his balls hurting. He sits down to pee and sometimes can't even go. He's been he's been to two different doctors who basically gave him pee thinners, and he consistently has pain in that area, close to a hernia. Should he be looking more into prostate issues at this point?
Pee thinners.
Yeah, what's a pee thinner?
I don't know.
Like
man.
you're like
That's when
to
you
make
smash
it
it
more
between
watery.
two books.
Yeah, like a water pill.
Well, it was probably given a medication is increases flow. That's what I
see.
All right, let's settle
But no, absolutely. Especially if he has a hernia.
Okay.
You know, if he has a hernia, it needs to be fixed.
Let's settle this right now. Is it better to sit or stand when peeing?
It's whatever you'd like. There's really
There's no better
benefit. A lot of guys have had prostate surgery, whatnot. They have to sit because they might spray a little, or if they have post void dribble, they don't want to get on their pants. But really, it's whatever's comfortable for you.
Do you do both? What does the doctor do? Do you sit or stand?
I think it's a combination of both.
Okay.
Yeah.
Is there such a thing as too strong of a stream?
No, that's a good thing.
That's a good
All
thing,
right, good.
buddy.
Why does
Good.
one?
I got a horse stream, and I'm always worried that I got a wide urethra or something. That's all right, but that's good. That's good for me.
That's awesome.
Why
Especially
does
if you have a full bladder. If you have a really full bladder, it's going to be a lot stronger.
Yeah.
why does one ball hang lower than the other?
That's just the way it is. So the testicles are on a cord, and there's a muscle in that cord called the cremasteric muscle. And sometimes one or the other is just pulling higher than the other. So it's actually very normal for one to. They're always off.
Yeah.
Let's go to Rich. Rich, you're a truck driver?
Yeah, this kind of just a generalized question because I had kidney stone issues a long time ago. Doctor said something about truck drivers, equipment operators, whatnot, that sit for long periods of time and subjected to all the vibrations that are associated with it. How detrimental is that for prostate health or even a contributing factor for ED?
So basically, thank you, Rich.
Yeah.
Long-term effects because of vibration, sitting in a seat, a truck driver, heavy machinery operator.
Yeah, that's a great question. I really haven't seen an association with prostate issues, but truck drivers, teachers, operators in general, they're dehydrated. They don't drink enough water. So if you had stones, you need to drink like 2 liters of water a day, and you need to add lemon juice to the water. That would help. But as far as the vibration when you're sitting, kind of like a bike rider, if you've got pressure right on the what's called the perineum, right between
your taint,
the rectum, correct, the rectum and the scrotum,
skin bridge,
the gooch.
If you have pressure directly on that spot as a truck driver, then you need to avoid that. And I tell guys, get a donut pillow, get something to elevate that area.
You could
so
weigh
that
in
you're
on-
on your so that you're on your your buttocks, not your perineum.
Do you consider the perineum the chode? That's a long-standing argument on this show. I'd like to know what a professional thinks.
Chode.
Yeah, what's your
Some
favorite
think it's a
nickname
short,
for it?
fat wiener. Others think it's the skin bridge, the
Perineum.
stink
Really?
town.
I think taint's the one I heard more often.
You even said it medically. The chode.
Let's go to
Something you would know.
Austin. Austin on line 1. You got a question for the great Dr. Hawatmeh.
Yes, Dr. Hawatmeh. In your advertisements, I heard that it's covered by most insurances.
What,
but,
vasectomies?
the procedure, I'm sorry, the procedure to get the no scalpel vasectomy.
Yes.
And so I was just wondering what the cost might be for someone who didn't have insurance.
Yeah, good question. It
you,
is
Austin.
covered by most insurances. The cost I think is around $700 something total for the consultation, the procedure, so forth.
Yeah, it's either that or have a kid, which is
Exactly.
going to cost more.
Yeah.
Am I right?
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
700? A 700,000.
Yeah, kids are expensive. Kidney stones. You guys treat kidney stones up there at South County Urological. Why are kidney stones so painful? And I know I've knock on wood, I've never had a kidney stone. Moon said it. Put him down.
Yeah, I've had many, and when I was in town and was dealing with it, I went to a Dr. Hawatmeh, and I saw you guys for it. And that is, I hate to say this, but that is the first time that somebody ever said, "How much water are you drinking?"
Right.
And I was like, "Well, I got about 17 Dr. Peppers a day," and I figured that was just water with other stuff. And that was the first time that you were like, "Nah," and I think it was your father who actually said, "You got to cut that out." See what happens when you cut out soda.
Yeah, the dark sodas are definitely worse.
Yeah.
But it's basically it's dehydration. So you need to drink a lot of water. They run in families, very common. We see them more in the summertime as well. But yeah, they are extremely painful. Even the smallest ones are the ones that cause the most pain because they start in the kidney and they go down the ureter. That's a tube that drains the urine from the kidney, and they block the kidney. And you get this intermittent pain, which is just can drop you. You know, they say it's like child labor, basically. Now, guys are not, guys I think have more pain than women. Women tolerate kidney stones much better than men overall.
Kidney stones are not just for dudes. I mean, women get kidney stones.
And women get them too.
Oh, it destroyed me. It destroyed me. I had one or two, and I had passed them on tour, and I was like, oh, that's, that was pain. And then this one out of nowhere put me in the hospital. And because I had had kidney stones and kidney pain before, I thought my kidney was failing. I was like, I'm dying. Like, y'all got to get me in there. I couldn't speak. It was like
well, in the extreme cases, we see people in septic shock. We see people that,
oh my God,
the life-threatening issues because of kidney stones because it's caused a massive infection because of the urine backup. So in that case, we put a stent in. We go after the stone a different time. But that happens all the time.
Where does the pain start? So it starts in your back. It's
flank.
I've never had a kidney stone. I mean, again, knock on wood.
It starts in your flank, and then it just, as the stone goes lower toward the bladder, it migrates toward the abdomen, and then at the very end, guys will get severe testicular pain when it's about to pass.
Oh, man.
Yeah,
Everybody needs to be drinking more water.
But that's not as bad. I will say it's horrible pain. You think the wang pain is where it's really going to hurt you. No, that's almost. I mean, it hurt.
Part of it.
It's horrible pain, but it's almost like this. It's almost over.
Right.
Yeah.
You're trying to work it out. How does that work to get the stone out?
Well, it's a surgical procedure, put you to sleep, and we go in with special instruments, and we can take a little telescope and go inside the ureter and just get the stone out, use lasers. Stone treatment depends on the size and location of stones.
Because you could treat them with ultrasound or some sonic waves.
Yeah, shock wave, we do that. Not for all stones, but...
Do they still do the basket?
We still do the basket with, you can laser the stone and you break it in little pieces and then you can pull them out with the basket.
Oh my God.
There's a new vacuum device.
Basket.
There's a new vacuum device that can be used. You pulverize a stone, you turn them into little dust, and then it's kind of like a vacuum suction. It just sucks the stone fragments down. That's a cool procedure.
The hospital I was in Maryland, and it was one of the only states that my Screen Actors Guild insurance wouldn't cover it. Because they said, hey, if this would have covered it, this is right at the size where we would do the basket thing. And I was like, I'm all drugged up. I'm like, explain the basket procedure. And they're basically like, oh, we'll go inside and we'll put it in this basket and kind of crunch it up, and then you can pass smaller pieces. Or that's how they explained it when I was super high.
Yeah.
And I was like, how much does that cost? And they're like, it's expensive. If your insurance isn't going to handle it, you can't handle it. You're not going to deal with this. So they sent me off. And I passed 3 on tour.
Wow.
And, the Thrice guys and the Mike Kim guys took care of me for 2 months. It was horrible. Horrible.
Yeah, it's bad. And plus, the treatments, too, because a lot of times we'll have to put a stent in, which is a little plastic tube that drains the kidney. And that alone, the foreign object in your body, and you're having pain and urgency and frequency all the time, blood in your urine. So they're no fun overall.
Yeah, and since correcting my diet, since, Dr. Hawatmeh said, hey, you got to drink water, don't drink these things, steer clear of this, look out for tons and tons of salty meats. Just stay hydrated, do the basics.
You don't want to add salt to things. You don't want to eat red meat every day. The hydration's key. There are some supplements, too, that can prevent stones. The key things to prevent stones, magnesium and B6. And citrate. Citrate's what's in lemon juice.
Nice. Okay. Yeah, just following the basics from you guys. I haven't had a stone since.
Here's a question from the instant feedback. I'm 33 years old, don't have any kids. My wife and I don't plan to have kids. She has issues, reactions to her birth control, and I would like to get a vasectomy to ease all that. Do you think there's an ethical issue with giving a childless 33-year-old a vasectomy?
Not at 33, no. I see guys every once in a while, 20, 21, that don't have kids and don't want them, and I won't do vasectomies on them. That'd be a problem. But I have a lot of these people. They call themselves dinks, dual income, no kids.
Yes.
And so they tend to have many nephews, nieces, animals, and other interests. Sometimes they'll have genetic abnormalities in the family they don't want to pass on. So it's perfectly reasonable. I do not a ton of these guys every year, but a good number.
Yeah, that's why I wanted. Tina wants to get off birth control, so I'm just like, there's no reason. messing her up and mixing with all her medications, there's no reason for me not to go in and get
Yeah, you're going to be 47, so you're good. Let's go to Brian on line 2. Brian.
Hey, how you doing?
Question for Dr. Hawatmeh.
Yes, I do. I had a radical prostatectomy, and the urologist wasn't able to save one side of the nerves that connect to the prostate when it was removed. What are the chances of me getting erections back naturally?
Well, how long ago was it?
I've been cancer-free for 2 years, so it's been about 5.
So 5. So this is as good as it's going to get right now. Usually I give it about 2 years. It can recover up to a year, we say, but you'll need other treatments to get erections. And you can do, injections. You can put an implant in. Implant's the best long-term solution.
What's an implant? Is that like a pump?
It's a pump, right?
Yeah. I remember we talked about this last time, but it's an implant that goes in. It's got 2 cylinders in the penis, and whenever you want to get an erection, you just pump it up. There's a pump in the scrotum. You look totally natural.
That's what my urologist said I have to do now, because the pills don't work.
Yeah, if the pills aren't going to work, then it's either injections, which a lot of guys don't like sticking needles in their penis.
Silicone injections?
I tried that.
Yeah, just most guys overall, even if it works, they stop doing it after a year because they don't want to put needles in their penis. And plus, you got to keep it in the fridge or freezer, and you got to go get it. You got to draw it up in a syringe, inject.
Not
it can
very
cause
sexy.
pain, bruising. Yeah, the implant's the way to go.
Yeah, I'd rather have the Reebok pump.
Absolutely, and that's a minimally invasive procedure. Really, it's got over 90% patient partner satisfaction. Very, very low risk procedure as well.
Great.
So yeah, that's the way to go.
Whoa.
Pump up the jam.
Any other questions?
Is that what if you get enhanced?
doctor?
Is that what you have to get the pump? If you get like the extension put on?
It's not an enhancement procedure. I always tell guys it's a functional procedure. So we'll get you an erection every single time. You can hang a towel off it. It's very strong.
You can't add a solid 2.5 while you're down there?
I'd say there are some enhancement procedures out there, not very common, but they are there. Yes.
Wild.
What do you think about Blue Chew? Have you heard of that?
Yeah, Blue Chew, I think they advertise. And is that the one that's a combination of Viagra, Cialis, basically?
Yeah, somebody's asking, is Blue Chew any good compared to the other brands?
It's just a cocktail?
We basically can prescribe the same thing for cheaper.
Right.
So I would just say to see a doctor. A lot of these, but again, it has to go back to the earlier point. A lot of guys don't want to go to the doctor. They'd rather just do a mail order, even though it's more expensive.
Mm-hmm.
It's just easier. And it's discreet. It comes in a package. It doesn't say anything.
It's also just male ego stuff.
Yeah,
it's mostly just like not wanting to come in and tell you that they're having ED.
Right.
They would rather just order it from
You're choosing a brand.
India or a pharmacy online and just roll the dice, than have to look another man in the face and just say a thing that's common.
That's right.
Which is just another, and the same reason we don't go to the doctor. It's all male ego stuff.
Dr. Hawatmeh, is compression underwear good or bad?
Well, we usually recommend that after any kind of scrotal surgery, after vasectomy and so forth. But I would say just overall, in general, wear whatever's comfortable.
Hey, speaking of whatever's comfortable, there's a marketing campaign from all these cotton underwear saying your polyester, your fake, half plastic underwear, whatever the heck it is,
bamboo undies
is giving you cancer and all that kind of stuff. Is that
I've
the material?
no evidence of that. It's just marketing.
Okay.
You have boxers or briefs, man.
Like a combination. The boxer brief.
Boxer briefs.
Boxer brief.
Okay.
Yes.
All right. Sax is a good brand.
We've got a club.
Someone
we got a club.
Someone called in and asked too, if you take one of the erection pills, like I guess you get back pain sometimes from that. How do you deal with that?
That is actually a well-known side effect of generic Cialis. It's only about 1 or 2%, but it has to do with a muscle enzyme that's increased. So yes, that is a rare side effect, but I've heard it from many patients.
Back pain like my shoulders?
Low back pain. It's kind of a tingling in your low back and upper buttocks, and there's really nothing you can do other than take anti-inflammatories and time. It can take 2, 3, 4 days to go away.
You're kidding. But that has nothing to do with kidneys or that kind
No,
of stuff.
it's just because that pill increases a certain muscular enzyme.
Wow,
interesting.
So I think we've learned a lot, guys.
I have one more question.
God, please.
Personal question. I had testicular torsion in high school. I got hit in the pills during a football game and twisted up my cord, and it came untwisted on its own. I didn't have to get surgery, but my right side's the low hanging fruit because it's a little bigger than the left because it swelled up like a grapefruit, and I get ghost pain in it sometimes.
Yeah.
Like, I'll just have a day where I'm like, God, my nut hurts. And I'm just like, it just hurts.
You're working through your trauma.
And I'm told that that's relatively normal.
It is, yes. I see a lot of guys with this intermittent testicular pain. Doesn't necessarily mean there's an infection. Doesn't mean there's a problem.
Okay.
It's just from abdominal straining. There's a lot of nerves that go down to the testicle.
Yeah.
If they get irritated, you get pain.
It's always that one, though. It's always the one that got twisted. It's always the torch.
Just a ghost messing with you, man.
Just a ghost.
Ghost pain.
Yeah. Ghost pain, dude.
Wow. Whoa.
Ball ghost.
Every once, I'll just have a day where I'm like, brother's tender today.
Hey, listen, if you have any questions, make an appointment with Dr. Hawatmeh. Anybody up there at South County Urologic, you guys are great. And
thank you.
I really think that the whole stigma thing is that's come on, let's get rid of that.
Yeah.
No question is too dumb. I mean, yes, okay, there are some dumb questions, honestly, but if you're worried about something, it's best to go get yourself checked out to set your mind at ease.
Absolutely, yes.
Am I right? And it is Men's Health Awareness Month, so we all should be aware about our prostates, our PSA levels, all that stuff.
Yeah,
so get yourself checked out.
A lot of guys will come in for testosterone replacement. They want to hear about that. But in general, also, it's important to have a primary care physician because you need to have your regular blood work. You need your cholesterol checked. You need your blood pressure checked. You need to screen for diabetes. The colonoscopy age was just reduced from 50 to 45 for the first one. So there's a lot of things that a primary physician does before you get to a urologist. But certainly any urologic issue, I'd see a urologist.
Yeah. Oh, there he is.
Thanks for answering my questions, too. I love when you come in because
did it.
I'm so interested in all of this.
We did our yearly checkup with the great
There you
Dr.
go.
Hawatmeh at South County Urological, southcountyurological.com. Doc, we love you. And
Thank you.
We'll do it again next year.
Absolutely.
There
Happy
is the great
sleeping.
Dr. Hawatmeh.
Great to be here again.
Once again, thanks to the great Dr. Hawatmeh for coming by and answering all our men's health questions. And we tried to get to as many questions as we could. What was one question about lengthening?
We didn't get to this one, but it was a good one. Hold on one second. I'll pull it up.
Yeah, I think it was, injectables in your penis?
I'm kind of curious. Yeah, I said, when it comes to the area of male enhancement, specifically procedures, products, or injections, a safe alternative to increase length and girth for the long term. I've seen doctors in Florida that perform medical-grade silicone injections that promise safe, long-term results. Also, are penis pumps safe in general?
In Florida, you're one step away from something else.
Scott, text Dr. Hawatmeh and ask him if penis pumps are safe, and write asking for a friend.
Okay.
Asking for Riz.
No, asking for a friend.
He's not going to know that we're still doing the show bit. He's going to think Scott's doing it.
Exactly.
God, I love it.
Exactly.
This is so good.
He's going to think he didn't want to ask it on the air.
Yeah.
There is speaking of doctors, a family medicine doctor named Dan Weisel. He's based here in St. Louis, and he's noticed a growing trend. And I was reading the article that he was in, and are people leaving their earbuds in all the time, like the one earbud? This is a thing, right?
Well, I mean, it kind of always has been.
Back to the Bluetooth.
No, it was a thing for, remember when people would just have the Bluetooth in?
Yeah.
All the time, and this was when Bluetooth earpieces were
right. But you weren't
first.
But you weren't using. So I think here's the difference. You weren't using Bluetooth, the original ones, the Bluetooth speakers, if you will, as headphones, right? You weren't listening.
Yeah, you were just doing them for your
phone calls, right? So then we used the AirPods, which weren't AirPods; they were just the headphones. I forget what they were called, with the cable.
Yeah,
and that's what you would use for music. And then they blended the two. So I think it's pretty reasonable to go back to or to use the now AirPods as headphones / the Bluetooth.
He's noticing them actually. People leaving their earbuds in both now all the time.
Okay, but there's also a huge increase in podcasts as well. Mm-hmm. So a lot of people are just podcasting while they're grocery shopping.
But he's seeing patients come in even when he's talking to them.
Weird.
And they're just in all the time.
That has to hurt your earlobe. Like I can only have mine in. Like when I go on walks, I'll listen to a podcast or I'll talk on the phone through my AirPods. But then my ears get sore, I'm like,
at first the doctor thought, man, this is rude. Like if I'm talking to you and you have your earbuds in.
Uh-huh.
What if it was a Bluetooth? What if it was like an old school Bluetooth with a little hook on the ear?
He's saying specific earbuds.
I think it's rude regardless. I'm with the doc.
But now the doc is like, you know what? Times are changing. Maybe for Gen Z, having earbuds in just feels natural.
Well, one of the problems with AirPods is what? Is you lose it all the time. You take it in and out, you're going to lose the thing, especially if you're doing the one ear. So, I mean, I can understand in a practical sense, that's just the pocket.
But it's not rude if you're wearing sunglasses, right?
And it's not just at the doctor's office either. Customer service workers are often seen with 1 or 2 earbuds in, despite workplace rules. Which can make it awkward since it's hard to tell if somebody's actually listening to you or jamming out to music.
Right.
Or on their phone.
Or on their phone.
I think that happened several times. I don't like it, but that's probably just me shaking my fist at a cloud.
I know, and that's what the doctor's saying is like, is this just, I find it rude, but is this just a thing now?
Both.
That just the younger generation is just keeping these things in as just, it's a part of life now.
They're just one is almost worse because it's like, put both in so I can see from whichever side of you I'm on that you're not talking to me. Because I've had a couple of times where someone's like had it in the left and been like, what's going on? And I'm like, oh, hey, how much? How are you? And then they look at me like I'm the a-hole. And I'm like, how was I supposed to know you weren't? We're walking on a sidewalk in the park. You look like you're just like a normal human.
Yeah.
Or you're at work. Or I'm like, you're behind the... I'm at Lens Crafters, and you're working the desk.
Well, Dr. Weisel's wife, who's an ER doctor, has even had patients take calls on their AirPods while being examined.
Well, how important was the call? I mean, because talk about, knocking 2 things out. I mean, that's just
this is in an ER, and are we?
Well, nobody chose to be in the ER.
Have we reached the point where nobody gives anything their full attention?
Yeah,
even in the ER.
Dude, we're all rude boys and girls at this point. Like, there are no boundaries anymore.
Yeah, man got to hustle to survive.
Decorum, and it sucks because, like, if my doctor answered her phone while we were in the middle of an exam, I would be pissed. I'm not. So I'm not going to be on my phone is silenced.
Yeah, but the doctor's
Full
being
attention
paid
is there.
in this scenario, and I'm not.
Well, and I am paying. Like, why don't you want to get your money's worth? Like, you're in the doctor's office. Things are
You
not.
have my full attention.
Yeah. I'm paying my copay, and I'm actually going to take up more of your time and ask all of my questions while I'm here and really get my money.
You're sewing up my toe in the ER or something like that. You're sewing me up. You got an important phone call. Why not?
Well, I understand like a distraction, like you're sewing me up.
Yeah.
Like I understand, like, okay, there's pain. If I got music going, maybe that helps with the pain.
Well, it's just changing also like the tolerance of phones as a presence. Like when I got my colonoscopy, they let me take it into the room, which surprised me. I haven't had a procedure in a very long time.
That Wordle ain't gonna Wordle itself.
And I was, I took all my clothes off, put all my stuff in a bag, and I went to put my phone in the bag. She goes, "You don't have to do that if you don't want to." And I go, "Why not?" And she's just like, "You can keep it." And I thought, oh, she's let me keep it before they wheel me in. And she's like, no, we'll just take it from you and put it under your, like when I rolled over for them to knock me out and go, she like took my phone and put it under the thing. And I'm like, they're just, the hospitals are becoming accepting of it as like people want to hang on to this thing until the last possible moment.
Yeah.
So teddy bears.
What's funny is back in 1982, there was a Washington Post columnist called the Walkman. A symbol of, and this is their words, an antisocial electronic future.
Mm-hmm.
And that was 1982.
They nailed it.
Fast forward to today, and that prediction, bingo.
Well, even further, the real,
more relevant than ever.
The real sign, the real signaling to society that you don't want to participate is what my son and every one of his friends and everybody at school is doing. They're not doing AirPods. They got
big phones.
What do they call it? I think they're called AirPods, but they're headphones.
Beats.
The Beats, the AirPod headphones, the
Noise
Pros
canceling.
or whatever they're called. Like they just wear. My son wears them everywhere. He's wearing them around the house. I'm like, hey, I'm trying to talk to you, man.
I prefer that though. That's
at least I know.
A strong message of like this person is not engaging.
That's what I mean. It's a full-on.
Your little hidden buds make me look like an a-hole.
I was driving yesterday, and there was a kid. This is me shaking my fist at a cloud. There was a kid riding his bike on Manchester, going fast, like BMXing down Manchester on the sidewalk. With headphones on, with no regard of people turning, and if somebody hits him, I mean, who's in the wrong there? You have your headphones on, you are flying down the sidewalks, cutting across roads, all this stuff. You get hit by a car. is that on the driver or is that on the kid who is
not paying attention?
Not paying attention, and all of his senses. I'm sure he's looking around, but not. He was whipping it, dude. He was just like,
if you're on the road, all your senses should be.
Yeah, I mean, you could be. I think even on a bicycle, you can get charged because you're operating.
That's what I mean. He was on a
vehicle on the
a
road.
bicycle. But it wasn't on the road. It was on the sidewalk. But he was cutting across these side roads. He was running parallel to Manchester.
Yeah, you got to pay attention.
And it freaked me out. I was like, oh my God, if I, and I don't. People are distracted driving, and we're not supposed to be. But it's like, what if somebody's on their phone, driving like an idiot? That's on them. Hits this kid who has headphones on. He's not aware of his own surroundings.
I think the law has a hard line with that, though, because I think they would be more considered pedestrian rather than the vehicle. The vehicle is always at fault if it hits.
Right.
You have to have a straight. You have to have a line there, and I think the line is if you hit anybody with your car, it don't matter if they're jaywalking and they should be ticketed for jaywalking. If you hit a pedestrian, it's on you.
Yeah, it says bicycles generally considered a vehicle under traffic laws.
Oh, well, there you go. If that's the case, then they'll be held liable if they cut somebody off.
I don't know about in your house, and I've had to have this conversation with both kids. Because I've had hey, I'm talking to you, and you got an earbud in, you take that out. Like, I'm having a conversation with you. I want your full attention. I don't know what's going on in there.
Well, the headphones are worse because they don't, when you're like, hey, I'm talking to you, take that off. They don't take them off like this and put them down on the table. They just put them on their neck, and you hear this.
Yeah, that's unacceptable.
Hey,
yeah, pause it.
Or don't give me one ear, huh? One ear. Right. Get out of here. Take them off.
Like, I feel like such a
take them out.
Old man saying all that stuff, but I'm like, come on, man.
I know. I feel like
just give me 20 seconds.
You're a square, dude.
I am a square.
I'm not asking to talk about philosophy.
Just take them off. That's it.
It's easy.
We're all turning into the brother from Something About Mary. Remember how he had headphones on all the time, or he'd lose it? That's who we're all turning into.
So my Frankenbeans.
Frankenbeans.
Yeah, but he was autistic.
He had headphones on.
Well, yeah, but that's
he was most comfortable with headphones.
Never mind
that's his sensory issues.
Well, but we don't want to deal with each other. Like, we got our headphones on, and we're gonna punch somebody in the face if they try to remove them.
Goodbye, Ted.
But he needed them for reasons because of sensory problems. We're just raising a-holes. That's it. That's it. We are raising rude a-holes. We've let it go. We've let it go too far. The guy in 1982 was right.
He was. The Walkman was the gateway drug.
That's it, and it's our fault.
You know that guy's, if he's around still, he's around going, I wrote an article.
Yeah, and he was right.
He's the real Nostradamus, dude.
He knew.
Told you.
All right, we got some sports stories for you next. Oh, and did you hear about there's a new league being formed. I don't know if you got this story, Moon.
No.
The world's first pro cheerleading league.
I knew that you would have it.
He is a cheer dad.
Well, he gets the bulletin, and I was like, I'll let Riz have this one.
So I got, my son plays hockey, and my daughter is a cheerleader. So she does school cheer, and she does competitive cheer. And the constant argument between my two kids, and it's usually my son razzing my daughter, oh, cheer's not a sport.
Yeah,
cheer's
right.
not a sport. And I think he's just busting her chops.
Yeah, he's got to be messing with her, because I'll say, hey, man, you know how much money cheer or stunt team saved our family because my daughter had a stunt scholarship? You going to tell me the colleges are giving out scholarships for something that ain't a sport like that?
Well, I mean, the competitive cheer, I mean, what these girls do is insane. I mean, it's very athletic.
I'll tell you what, and there's the college competitions are so cool. The way that they it's like a head to head thing where there's like a scoring and they get to go back and forth. Like one does a routine and then the next one does a routine, and it's all like they're trying to one up the other one. Mm-hmm. However they do it, I'm not explaining it obviously very well. Is amazing. It's a full-blown sport.
Yeah. So big news for cheer fans. Pro cheerleading is officially getting its own league.
It's awesome.
Very cool.
So announced this week, the brand new Pro Cheer League is set to launch in 2026, marking the world's first pro league dedicated exclusively to elite cheerleaders. So the league's going to kick off with teams in Atlanta, Dallas, Miami, and San Diego, with each team featuring 30 top athletes selected through a tough tryout process, which is happening this fall. Those who make the cut won't just get to perform at the highest level. training, salaries, travel, uniforms, bonuses, even prize incentives, just like a regular
That's great.
professional sports league.
Big money. My daughter
stuff.
coaches now as well.
And this is backed by Varsity Sport, which is a major name. If you have a cheerleader in your life, this is, you know the name. The league says its mission is to elevate cheerleading to a true professional sport. Varsity Sports president says it's about giving these incredible athletes the visibility and recognition they deserve. As cheerleading's popularity continues to soar, the sport is moving closer to being an Olympic sport.
It's great.
That's very cool.
That is, super neat.
Super dangerous, too. You're not going to tell me that it's not a sport when it's like the second most or sometimes the first most.
Next to football is most concussions.
Prone sport out there.
I went to one last year? One of the cheer comps in Tennessee or whatever we went to. Those older girls, once you get up to like high
80s.
school, they're doing some pretty intense gymnastics up there.
Oh, yeah,
It's
I've
cool.
seen it. I've seen it. I mean, it's incredible. So, yeah, all the cheerleaders are excited. You know, Pro League debuting next year.
How do you know they're excited?
They show all that spirit, man. All that spirit. All right, here's sports. All right, Moon, what do you got?
Okay, sports are brought to you by DraftKings at Casino Queen. Play, stay, and dine. Visit DraftKings at CasinoQueen.com for special promotions. Wednesday's Cardinals versus White Sox game was postponed due to rain. Will be made up as a straight-up doubleheader today, starting at 1:10.
Oh, day baseball.
This is the Cardinals' sixth doubleheader of the season, by the way. First straight twin bill. Sonny Gray, dominant at home, but struggling on the road, was set to face rookie Sean Burke. Coming off his worst outing, the Cardinals are 38-35. The Sox sit at a league worst 23-50. They're garbage. Shohei Ohtani's former interpreter, I think it's Ippei Mizuhara,
Good enough.
has officially reported to federal prison in Pennsylvania. Mizuhara was he's starting a 57-month sentence after pleading guilty to stealing nearly $17 million from Shohei to pay off massive gambling debts. Prosecutors say Ippei placed about 19,000 bets over 2 years, racking up more than $40 million in gambling losses. So to cover his debts, he siphoned funds from Shohei's accounts without his knowledge. The scam came to light earlier this year, leading to Ippei's firing by the Dodgers and the high-profile investigation. Now, in addition to jail time, he has been ordered to pay nearly $17 million in restitution to Shohei and another $1.1 million to the IRS. Ohtani has reportedly said that he never plays sports bet himself and was completely blindsided
Totally believe
by
him.
his former interpreter's actions.
Totally believe him.
Heartbreaking.
Fredbird, the beloved St. Louis Cardinals mascot. I made mention of this a couple days ago. He has officially been inducted into the Mascot Hall of Fame as part of the class of 2025, becoming only the 9th MLB mascot to ever receive this honor. With over 3,600 regular season game appearances, spanning 3 World Series titles and 7 NL pennants, Fredbird has been a fixture of the Cardinals fandom since what year? What year do you think he was born?
1984.
Go ahead.
Oh, he was close?
No,
I was
just go
saying
ahead.
1978.
1960.
I'm going to go 1971.
Scott wins again, 1979. This prestigious induction underscores his enduring impact on ballpark entertainment and the broader mascot community. So thank you and congratulations to
We're older than
Fredbird.
Fredbird, bro.
Yeah, I know.
That's sad.
Yeah, it's kind of wild. The Los Angeles Lakers will be sold for a franchise valuation of $10 billion. The amount is the highest ever for a United States professional sports team. Mark Walter will take on the majority ownership from the Buss family. The Buss family has owned it since Fredbird's birth in 1979. Mark Walter, he's just a nobody. I'm just kidding. He actually is the CEO and chairman of TWG Global. The company has stakes in the Dodgers, the Los Angeles Sparks, the Premier League soccer club Chelsea, and the Professional Women's Hockey League and Formula One racing. He hates sports.
Yeah.
This guy's not a sports
$10
nut.
billion for the Lakers.
Yeah.
It's kind of sad.
What you mean?
Just that the Buss fam, if you watch like Showtime and how hard Jerry Buss worked to build that organization, and Jeannie taking it over she was trying to break the glass ceiling, and just sad that it's leaving the Buss family.
I'm going to go ahead and say
especially
this.
to go to
Not
like
sad.
a global corporation.
But they set a record, $10 billion. This is the time. Riz and I were talking about this earlier. Like, this is the time to sell the Lakers. At the top of its valuation, it's not going to be the greatest.
What did he buy it for?
Not $10
I think
billion.
Jerry Buss bought it for very cheap.
Oklahoma beat Indiana in the NBA Finals 120-109 and now lead the series 3-2. It continues tonight at 7:30. And after 35 years, the beloved KC Wolf mascot, Dan Mears, is retiring from the role, as the Kansas City Chiefs announced on Tuesday. Mears, by the way, he's from around here, St. Louis. He began his mascot journey at the University of Missouri as Truman the Tiger, later worked as Fred Bird in St. Louis Cardinals, and then became the KC Wolf in 1990 and has performed 375 games, including 5 Super Bowls. So he is retiring, speaking of mascots. I'm Moon, and that's your sports, because doing the bull dance, feeling the flow, working it.
I saw it. Yeah, bought the Lakers, Kings Forum, and 13,000-acre ranch for $67.5 million. And just sold it for $10 billion. Pretty good.
Good return on your investment.
Great
I don't think there's any sadness there.
All right, one final break. We'll come back, wrap her up. First off, I want to thank the great Dr. Hawatmeh at South County Urological for coming in and chatting with us for almost an hour. So if you missed any of that stuff, super important. June is Men's Health Awareness Month, so we're making you aware.
And speaking of
that, answered some great questions.
He did just text because I asked him, are penis pumps safe? Asking for a friend. They are safe, not particularly effective for ED, but there's no downside. We don't recommend them often, most often used after prostate cancer surgery.
Okay.
All right.
Perfect. There you go.
There you have it.
Now you know. If you missed anything, make sure you check out the clip of the day brought to you by Michael's Flooring. Also, the podcast brought to you by Dobbs Tire and Auto Centers. Today's podcast is called
Dr. Hawatmeh and the Ball Ghost.
Okay. There you go. All right, Moon, what else?
Can You Feel the Punk tonight, August 8th, Chesterfield Amphitheater. It's an amazing opportunity for, rock and roll show. It's all Disney, all the Disney classics done up. Rock and roll, punk, and ska is a perfect opportunity to bring family, kids, nephews, nieces, anybody that hasn't been to a concert before that you've been looking for an opportunity to bring, a young person to their first concert. Well, Chesterfield Amphitheater. And it's going to be amazing. CanYouFeelThePunkTonight.com. And then, of course, the Impact Life Blood Drive this Saturday. We need your blood. June 21st, 9 a.m. to 2 p.m. Schedule it now at 1057thepoint.com/blood drive. We're doing it down at Hood's Home Center in Festus.
All right, Lern.
Come out and see Riz and I this Saturday in Arnold. We'll be at Hot Shots from 3 until 5. They're going to have a wing eating contest. There's going to be Hot Shots girls. The beers will be flowing. It's going to be hotter than hell. We're going to be out there. Would love to see you. Please. Thanks.
Yep. Rafe.
There's 2 Don't Tell Comedy secret speakeasy shows in town this weekend. Go to don'ttellcomedy.com. I got a couple friends, some secret comedians coming down from Chicago, Illinois that are very funny and pretty famous, to be honest with you.
From Chicago, huh?
The big city.
Coming down from the Windy City. So there's 2 shows in secret location. Just go to the website. You can buy tickets, and the location will be revealed day of show, and then we'll all be hanging out. So come out and check it out.
Scott.
Very cool. Yeah, you can follow me at King Scott Rules, and make sure to stay up to date with the Riz Show by following Riz Show on all socials.
Thank you, Scott. All right, we leave you with a selection from our Teamers Remember the Day, brought to you by Hot Shots from Farmington. Mallory Bales.
Yeah, Mallory!